fully set up now at this P2 HP. You got Omen Brooklyn, 2 players attacking through the mid, able to effectively find that trade, but Lower Gaming have brought themselves all the way back into this one.
Absolutely the case, and maybe a chance to actually swing this back into their favor. Brolu dancing with Paul X. It's a nasty little tango. That ball with the pistol almost turns that into a double. Two Real following up though, cleans out everything front side ramp, and Lower Gaming likely to take the lead if they can get the read that Omen Brooklyn are in the back.
Yeah, as soon as Paul X spawns, he gives the comms. All right, they're in the back, everyone turn around, but the trades are more effective in favor of Omen Brooklyn. Too aggressive in that moment was Lore, but we'll sort of take that because it's final 20 seconds here at P2. We know how effective P3 can be if you can hold it down.
And 2 Real causing some problems over towards the rotation canoe. He's in a dance with Brolu right now, which eventually goes the way of a bit Brooklyn. RCD's trying to make a mess of the old time, but as he's shut down, now Lower Gaming just have to return over towards P3, get themselves a setup that they want.
Now 30-point difference. You have Lore dominating over towards that bridge side, watching the overextension if you are 2 Real, but you're going to get bombarded by players. Can you catch the timing onto Purge? You're able to spot him, but he's going to put himself in the right angle to find the kill. You get some assistance from RCs. You eventually decide to strike. Lower Gaming hold on to the first push.
You can definitely tell the Lower Gaming vibe is starting to really come to life all of a sudden. Good duality plays happening between a couple of different members as they need to really focus on these rotations. And the 1v1 for Yuli also keeps the spawn safe. Now from the front, a bit Brooklyn in pieces, and they're all getting tagged up. One by one, they try to drop in, and one by one, they will fall. Lower Gaming will see their first lead.
Yeah, Lower Gaming are warmed up now. Flawless 60 hold so far at this P3, and you already have a couple players contesting off the rotation. That's 3 in the feed for Lore. But with Paul X dropping, now it's going to turn into a one-on-one gunfight. Arcidy's on 4 in a row.
Couple of toe tags from Arcidy's. Pushes Awakening off, which Yuli's right there to pick up on. This is what I'm talking about. Hey, I get the comp, a little bit of damage. Another teammate says, I got your trade out. Easy kills coming through. Lower Gaming going to have the early time over the backside of boxes as 2 Real clean sticks up from the side. Arcidy's good help from Yuli as well. A double comes through, and now all of a sudden you've got Yuli on 5.
Yeah, but 2 Real gave up boxes, so Awakening potentially has the opening, but you're going to go back to pick it up. So this has been beautiful hard point from Lower Gaming on the second half. Flawless 60 at the P3. So far 20 uncontested seconds here at P4, but all the kills in favor of Omen Brooklyn. They bombard their way through the backside. Cammy finds 3, that leads to the break.
This is a critical 30 seconds that Lower Gaming are not just going to want to give away freely. So they're structuring up for their next attempt to try to break this through. Pro on a little bit of an off angle, front side ramp. Boxes also being watched by Purge. So this hit trying to be a split focus for Lower Gaming, and it's not really working out. 3 for 1 the exchange, and that's enough for Yuli to say, I'm out of here, gotta play the rotation.
Yep, rotate early, play a corner, guarantee a first kill. That's exactly what he's able to do onto Awakening, but Omen Brooklyn able to take the lead right on back. Paul X with a perfect read onto Proloop. Now Lower Gaming fully set up this time around off this rotation anew. Basically a tie game. We might have a 1-point game again.
We very well may. Cammy's on 5 though. That could be a huge tool for Mid Brooklyn if he can get the cruise missile, finds a player in the corner, and just able to find Yuli before he can slip away. So a cruise missile now earned for Mid Brooklyn, and they secure a quick break over through 5.
You have top mid control as well. You are Lower. You can't just try to bombard your way through that front end. It's going to be very difficult to lead to the break, but that's where you have the tax. The stuns and the nades good enough to alleviate that pressure on the hard point, but now it's Cammy's turn to strike 7 in a row, trying to make it 8. Proloop is not going to be able to find that trade onto Paul X, so Lower Gaming just keeping themselves in it.
And that looked like a moment where our Mid Brooklyn are saying, we can double up this last player in the hill and try to hit him. Cammy's going to call out the cruise missile here. 15 seconds on the clock. Arcidy's will drop, but look at the focus around the middle of the map. Yuli's able to step over towards Escalators. He wins a key 1v1. Purge can't quite find him initially, but finally, Mid Brooklyn do find the kill they need. We're going to have a 50-50 battle for new.
Now, if you are Mid Brooklyn, at least you have all top mid control currently. Paul X is playing that corner for a long time, but somehow, some way, Proloop gets the better of him. So another lead change. All of Lore coming off of the respawn have to work their way up these steps.
It's wild because you look over to the kill feeds of the leaderboards right now. It is essentially copy-paste. It is dead even. So this is just about who wants it more, maybe. Lore, first 2 kills decent, trying to chase down Purge, who somehow manifests a double. Extra damage to help Proloop out, turns this into a 1v1 for the time. Pistol not going to work out. Arcidy's gets the win, and now here comes the next wave.
Now if you're Arcidy's, just try to finesse as long as you can for the reinforcements to come assist you. Paul X flies on in, but he's only able to take down 1. Cammy again with another multi-kill to hold down on the hard point. But 2 Real, he's just making something happen. He found the double, making a a triple, and that's Lore leading to the break.
Prolo just got stunned beyond recognition, and now all of a sudden it's not just the break. Lore trying to flood over towards the new side of the map, but Purge and Awakening stop them in their tracks. A chance to get the lead back for Lore, but Omit Brooklyn have the setup for New.
Omit Brooklyn already have players pushed out as well, so Prolo is contesting over towards this garage area, just going to keep Lore at bay, but eventually he is going to fall. Arcitys and now Yuli working their way around the back end. Yuli potentially is going to catch the timing. This is another photo finish of a map 1.
Awakening tries to get out of the hard point, not able to successfully keep his life. Yuli dealing with the back door, able to find, like you mentioned, all 3 dead, but the spawns are still in from it. Brooklyn and Cammy again comes through huge. She takes a double in stride, and with that, Brooklyn find a way to get back into the hard point.
They're holding. They only need 20 points. They can still win it here. Use your stuns, use your nades to try to slow them down. Walking up this ramp, you have a pinch being set up out of Prolo. That might be just enough to call game.
Able to find the first. He's going to split up this hit from Lore Gaming, and they need to find a break. They need to find it quickly. The kills are though in. Oh! From the front takes down 2, and that likely will be the game 1 winning moment. Omit Brooklyn were stunned in a 250-249 game yesterday. Not going to happen again. They strike first.
That's just beautifully played right there out of Omit Brooklyn. They came out the gate swinging. You had players like Prolu shutting it down with that SMG. Purge had a couple moments, but it was Cammy every single time with that AR. He earns himself a late game cruise missile, multiple kills, 2-piece here, 3-piece there. He was just clutching up in those moments for them to secure map 1.
That's what he's been doing all year, man.
All year, man.
It's just wild because the story around this Thieves squad, in retrospect now, they made the right move.
Yeah.
But back during the beginning of the year, it was kind of dealer's choice.
Yeah.
I mean, really all 4 players at stage 1, even in the parts of stage 2, just didn't really feel like it was clicking. You really couldn't just point and say, oh, Cammy was the problem. It was a structural thing they had to figure out, and Cammy got the short end of the stick.
That's 100%, because if you think about LAT in the beginning of the season, what was their record in hardpoint? One of the worst, if not the worst in the league. And that's the biggest thing that you play every single day. All 4 players are scrimming, all the hard points, all the control maps. Probably getting a couple reps of search and destroy, but the respawns needed to be a lot better. Obviously, the recipe for LAT early on when Cammy was on the roster didn't really work out, but he's been finding a lot of success down here in Challengers. He's able to shut it down with that AR alongside his SMG duo who had that presence. And that's a perfect way you want to start this grand final.
I mean, even as we get through the replays, Cammy's got over a minute worth of hard point time in a game that's 55 to 112. He finished with 25 of his 28 non-traded, and a minute 42 in total in the hard point. I mean, the guy's doing it all. And I think the thing about it is, you know, in certain moments we look at challengers and we get kind of, you know, star-studded by some of the insane POVs. Like, oh wow, this guy is just mechanically, individually incredible. Definitely has CDL potential. But when you're looking for a guy that could fit into a system and do it all, you look no further than Cammy. He has been great, like you mentioned, all year long.
He's just a fundamental AR kind of player, man. No matter where he's going to go, he's always going to give you the same exact play style. I'm going to be the guy early off the rotations. I'm going to be the guy that's holding down these power positions. And then I'm also going to put myself in a position to play the trades and get those trades. That's what he has developed as of recent. So the perfect start there for Omid Brooklyn to get their revenge off of that Rio map number 1. And now they're going into their best game mode on the weekend.
And that's a scary sight because this whole series was built for Lore Gaming to win map number 1. Moments of brilliance, but like we said, it didn't happen until we got to the second set of hard points where eventually Lore Gaming were able to find their first lead. That's just too much of a gap early. That 110 to 42 is what I'm looking at. Again, that was rotation after rotation after rotation. 2 to 3 to 4, good clinical gameplay, able to allow that extra cushion to come through.
Dude, and we go from P3 to P4 to P5 at the second half of the game, and it's basically a tie all the way through. But then when you get back to that rotation at P1 with Omid Brooklyn and more specifically Cammy, finding that double through top mid, you have top mid control to start it off. You're able to trade effectively, even with Tura finding that triple. Don't know how he was able to get it. You secured the spawns for the next hill. So Omid Brooklyn was just doing the little things right.
And now we get into the high-rise search and destroy. Like you mentioned, for the side of Omid Brooklyn, they have been great at high-rise. They're also coming off a round 11 map 5 winner on this map. But the same can be said in terms of what Lore has been able to find success-wise on this map. It does feel like a very predicted and very neutral battleground for both these two teams.
Yeah, this is going to be a square up. I feel like all throughout Challengers, this is what they prefer to play. High-rise, search, and destroy in every single series. So we see a lot of different strategies. Obviously, dominating over towards B Street on your defensive side is how you shut down the entire map. But there's a lot of pressure, a lot of aggression that goes through these underground lanes. And you best believe Yuli is going to have a field day down there.
Yeah, it's really, we saw it from Team 4 Space. They were the ones that were like throwing
running
away
at
the most unnormal things, like bizarre, crazy strategies. And I think it kind of opened the eyes a little bit to some of the SMGs that even find themselves here in the main stage in terms of we can create problems very early on. So we'll see if that ends up coming true here again.
And Search and Destroy is all about tone setting, especially on the Championship Sunday. When you're going into this map number 2, early on off the momentum that you gained, if you're all mid-Brooklyn, you want to try to be the aggressor. You want to force Lord to just play super safe in the back of their spawn, not try to allow any map control to get away from them, but early tone setting is big, especially in this moment.
100% the case. Also, just got to give a shout out to these organizations throwing on the championship whites here for these guys.
Looking good, baby.
Jersey's looking great.
Yeah.
Loving it, loving it, loving it. So yeah, I think you're right. Tone setting is going to be key for both these two teams. And hey, if you're mid-Brooklyn, you come out swinging, find yourself possibly 2-0 up in this series. That changes the entire dynamic of what we have in front of us, because the controls, I will say, I think kind of lean a little bit more towards lore based on what we've seen on the weekend. But like imagine, COD's an everyday, day-to-day type of battle, especially when it comes to how the challengers teams play.
So now into this high-rise Search and Destroy, we are about to go. Lore Gaming looking for the response to try to tie the series up at 1. If you're home in Brooklyn, just keeping your foot on the gas. And I feel like you saw pieces of it in that map number 1 with how confident the SMGs are playing. Purge, hot star, Prolo was able to finish it off with that phenomenal game. But that SMG pressure was there in map number 1. Are they going to show it again here?
Well, mid-Brooklyn on the opening offense. Nades are tossed over towards the offensive side at A, but none really land. And Prolu may be kind of thinking about trying to rewrap this. He's got an AR in hand. He's trying to get this thing set up for something over towards B. Paul playing deep, RCD is over the middle of the map, and everything is just very passive here for Lord.
Yep, told you. Look at how slow they are playing. So if you are on mid-Brooklyn, you get info early on over towards the speed tree of how this setup is looking. And potentially found your opening as they're working their way through bottom pit.
But Persia's got an AR here. Does he really want to go much further? That's the question at the moment. Shots are out. Purge. Does he close the door behind him? May not need to. Yuli able to step on in, find the first blood. That's the bomb carrier. Prolute dropping for first. Two Real finds the second, and now Lord Gaming own the map.
And Purge is just waiting. He was in a position to make a play happen, but Cammy's at least able to find one. It's now Purge's turn in a 1v3 to make it happen, but information already gained. Great adjustments right there from Lord to switch the pace up. I'm pretty sure they had the second player bottom pit absolutely one shot. That's why they send it for that kill, and at the same time you have Brooklyn trying to play for that trade. The second kill doesn't go down, and even with Purge putting himself in that position, he cannot get anything done.
And I love the idea of throwing the smoke down into the pit to just isolate that 1v1 even more so than it already was. Just allows that free first blood to come through, and then the AR sitting in the back, kind of closer towards their spawn windows, are able to make sure that no one follows up for the trade. Really clean stuff to start off this high-rise surge.
And I thought Lord were going to be too passive on that defense, but just switching that gear at the right time. Able to take round number 1. Now they go to the attacking side. You're going to invest all the nades over towards BC to potentially open up with that first blood, but nothing's able to connect, and now it's Too Real trying to work his way through that site.
This is a little bit strange for mid-Brooklyn. They really only have Awakening watching this B lane. There's a lot of focus in through mid-map here for a bit. So are they going to maybe try to find some way to break through this offensive side of the map and maybe do some damage, but Awakening will drop here. So good opening shots from Paul. Follow-up is decent from Purge. Prolo does get the top helicopter here, so positioning is really kind of flipping between both sides, but now it's Prolo sitting by himself, 1v3. Has Yuli up top, at least somewhat tagged, for the bomb's going to be planted, and Prolo will not have an exit here.
Yeah, that's 2 one-ways on that round. Both is sitting at top heli. It was Purge in a 1v3 first go-around. Then it turns into Prolo. Put yourself in a great position towards top heli, but with all the chaos brewing through underground, just wasn't in a position to find any of those kills. So Lord Gaming coming out swinging in the Search and Destroy.
And I think as both offenses are trying to keep the ARs real far back, trying to find these opening cross angles through the middle of the map, but they're really not getting the opportunities that they want just because the ARs for the side of Lore have stayed so passive that they're just playing for contact first. They're not looking to challenge bomb plants immediately. They're just trying to get their info and then make their reads after that.
Now Brooklyn back on the attacking side they go. Slowly try to work their way up through B Street. Gonna back down Paul X, who is on 4 in a row, and 2 on 3. Only 73 HP, but if you're Omen, at least you back them down. You got to take that ground away from them.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the thing, though. This is a 4 AR setup again for Lore. They just don't want to challenge you out into the open. Yuli with an MCW as well. Try to maybe get over towards topside helicopter. He's got Cammy nearby, who jumps the corner. Yuli nearly able to extend his life to allow Hercy to get in the play, but he gets pushed off, and now we have our first 4v3 for a minute.
That's the first blood. on the cards there for Allman Brooklyn. At the same time, Awakening finds the second. So RCD's and Paul X trying to clutch on up. And RCD's trying to find any success in the kill department. No, he is going to fall. Paul X positioning known. He's on 5 in a row, and he finds that double. Cruise missile earned, 1v2.
And he's got a chance at this. The bomb has plenty. He's going to get an extra 30 seconds, but the high-low setup, just a little bit too difficult to deal with. Off angles all over. Paul's like, you gave me a look, and nearly took advantage of it.
Hey, man, but you would take that cruise missile on a 1v4 to find a double the way that you did. Paul X trying to let him know you got real lucky there in that situation. Almost pulls out the 1v4, but at least the Old Mid Brooklyn securing their first round on the board. Great snap onto Cammy there. Now going forward, if you're Old Mid, got to be thinking about that cruise missile in the back of your mind. You're going to play super fast or super slow.
Yep. But you know when Paul's starting to feel good like that, watch out. A little bit of a double stack here through mid, looking for some crossing angles, but here we go. This is different. I bet Brooklyn looking to get aggressive with Prolude and Purge playing aggressively through bottom blue, but Cruise Missile's gonna get called. They're gonna get the information on this. This comes down to what do you do after here for Lord Gaming? They're gonna have a wide open B site, but they have to worry about this tunnel play.
Yeah, that's why this Cruise Missile at least getting called in is gonna give you the info, but it's not gonna be able to do anything on the map. So gonna work your way in towards the B site. Purge and Prolude, that dynamic duo trying to work their way instantly in towards B. Purge is able to put down a couple of shots. He's not able to get out with his life.
Wow.
But 32 HP, 2Real still alive.
And Awakening wants to try to sniff out 2Real, eventually able to find the kill. But Prolude making the play around the back. Hold on a second, this lore setup is not comfortable by any stretch of the imagination. It's just down to what they can find from the high ground. RCDs will drop, it's just down to Paul again. This time a 1v3 situation, just 2 more to find. Shots to Awakening are good, the pistol finds the win. Now it's just down to where is Cammy? 15 seconds, Paul off the regen and the reload. Checks it, no one on the site. He gets the reset, slips away, 9 seconds. Cammy has to make a call, and he doesn't make the right one. The shots are good for the kill, but it's a 1v3 clutch for Paul.
That just can't happen right there if you are Awakening. I know you gained the info to 2v1, and if you're Cammy, you gotta get a lot quicker in that scenario. Try to assist your teammate in those gunfights. But it's just once Paul X finds those early couple of shots, he knows that Awakening is weak. He commits with the Renetti for that 1v1. And then just finesses. Pulls out a page from Shotzi's book and just is able to stay alive, clutch up in the 1v3.
Maybe not quite the same movement, but
not as fluent, you know, but it was cool. It looked good.
Shades of it. So the Cruise Missile does find the value, though it was a mixy round to say the least. So now the advantage starts to become a little bit steeper here for Lore Gaming. Good read for 2Real down low. Able to go 1-for-1. Yuli following up and Purge gave him a workout, but gunfight win still goes the way of Lore Gaming, and that gets him a 3v2 defensively.
Now the bomb's going to be down in towards bottom blue. Awakening Cammy with those ARs in hand. Just trying to get a little bit of info over towards B Street. You're able to spot Paul X on the backside of Propane, not able to find that kill. Now in this 2v3, it's time for Cammy to try to make this play.
A couple of the shots are in, but again, that's just information that they really can't capitalize on. So tough situations here for this 2v3. Cammy going to try to fake out some sound cues, but again, the Lore defense are not really going to be too worried about this. Their setup is still pretty perfect. Cammy, a couple of wallbang shots nearly provide a free kill, but now he's got to force it, and that's what Lore were waiting for. Bomb now down, 1v3 for Awakening.
Awakening is not going to get the better of RCDs in that engagement. Lore Gaming, again, effective on the first blood, but instantly when that trade happens, Yuli knows that guy's one shot. I'm going to set it in towards bottom blue to find the second. But then you keep yourself in the man advantage, realizing that if you are Mid-Berkeley, you're not going to find a lot of success to work that objective over towards A. You're dominating over towards B Street, basically GG.
Really clean stuff from the side of Lore. First Bloods have tilted their way in all 4 rounds that they've won, essentially. Efficiency's been great. And to be fair, like as much as we were crediting them for having a great search and destroy record, they really didn't play a lot of high rise this weekend. A lot of their success came on 6-star. So outside of the round 11 win, not a lot of looks here for Met Brooklyn on this map. Prolude able to at least find first blood. Yuli trying something crazy, doesn't work out.
Yeah, that's doing your homework right there on the Yuli. He did that all throughout the Challenger season. Awakening is able to find the second kill as well onto RC. So instant 4v2. You don't really have to commit on a gunfight, but now in the 1v4, you might as well go for it. It's Paul X, even though he's been shooting tremendously straight in this map number 2 at 8-2. Another 1v4 opportunity.
Shots to Awakening are good. Slips almost fully back away, but was under immense pressure. And Paul's just sitting here saying, guys, 1v4, 1v3, 1v4, can we get a little bit more help here to at least make this a little bit more stable.
Yeah, let's just take our time here, you know? I'm having a phenomenal search and destroy. Don't want to dive first 10 seconds into the round, but that was Prolute realizing who he was playing against and how aggressive Yuli likes to be around that blue area. So you find that first blood, put yourself in the early man advantage. Awakening finds the second, and then you just pick them apart one by one to secure your second round.
And I think the thing about that, that's the first time we've seen aggression through the A side of the map, but trusting their setup, keeping their bases covered. Impressive stuff considering how passive Lore have played, largely speaking, on their offensive side. But we flip back over to the Lore defense. Duriel getting up and aggressive into the middle of the map. Sees the door open, holds the angle, Purge will drop, and that little bit of mediated aggression works out nicely for Duriel.
Yeah, and that's place you just don't see at the CDL right there. Standing out in the middle of the open to play for a first engagement. Thankfully, it works out for that first blood. It's an early man advantage in favor of Lore. This time Awakening is able to take down Turo over towards B Street, so instant 3v3. Cammy takes ground in towards site.
Yeah, this route from Cammy is brilliant, but Prolud, who tries to actually isolate deeper onto Arcades, that doesn't work out. Extra shots come through, makes Paul's life real easy to confirm the kill. Now it's just down to Awakening, 1v3. Sees Arcades over the top of the railings, but doesn't expect the double stack front side elevator, and now all of a sudden Lore Gaming find themselves on map point.
Yeah, that's Lore's setup, man, on defense. Every single time just showing presence over towards that B Street. It's just not easy when you have those kind of AR players. The way that PulsefIre is shooting, you know, Arcedy's two-time world champion. He's going to be ready at all times, as they are now one round away from tying the series up, switching the momentum in their favor.
And that just resets the entire series if this comes through. I mean, like we mentioned, the Rio Hardpoint was meant for Lore Gaming to win, based on how much they've played it this weekend, plus also the head-to-head match that they had earlier. But coming out of the winners bracket gives you a number of advantages. And an opportunity to take away map number 2 would be a critical one. Once again, how about this? Yuli back over towards blue. Not as much aggression because Amit are trying to find a little bit of pressure over through bottom pit. Purge still surviving through the smoke. Sees one player over the top and instead decides he's going to play for the long route, which he's not going to have a lot of time for this to happen. It's a 4v2 already.
Yeah, by the time he gets up in the play, it's going to be a 1v4 due to the route. So can Purge put something together here? He's able to find the first great shots on the PulsefIre, not able to lead for the kill, but 1v3 bomb going down. Let's see what you got.
Yeah, not looking good. I mean, what do you do? At this point, you got high ground held by Paul, Turiel over the top of the bomb, and Yuli making sure there's no routes hit over through blue, and there's the team shots. Purge down to a single bullet, no worries. How about Lore Gaming? Composure comes out, and honestly, it's just legitimately they play passive off the get-go. They don't let Amit Brooklyn get away with anything, and that turns into a massive lead, especially with Paul able to earn the cruise missile early.
Yeah, that was beautifully played right there from Lore. You're slow and steady wins the race. You're dominated every single time on your defensive rounds. What was the ending score? 6-2 overall. It was 6-2 in favor of the first blood for Lore Gaming. So it was a perfect game plan. You shut down the aggressive SMGs that come in. You win insane gunfight versus the ARs over towards B Street. It's a flawless search and destroy from them.
Clinical. And that's the thing is, like, I know everyone out there is like, this is challenges. These are 2 CDL caliber teams.
Yep.
And let's be honest, when we get to EWC, mark my words here, friends, we're going to see some upsets coming out of these quote-unquote challengers.
Especially we got these one-way smokes, dude, because that was like 7 on that map.
Wow, we're really getting mixy with it. So again, a best of 7 here for this Challengers Grand Finals. We reset things at a 1-1 count, and the breadwinner in map number 2, PulsefIre, 13-3, 2,500 damage plus, of course, the cruise missile. But you also mentioned it, the first blood efficiency, absolutely perfect outside of a couple of routes that Yuli tried to take and didn't work out.
Yeah, Yuli's stat line can't be real, right? Like 277 damage, he got 3 kills, 150 HP. Yeah, that's a lot, but it's okay. You were able to walk away with the search and destroy off the great performance out of your ARs. SMGs needs to make plays at certain moments, but that was just a textbook search and destroy. Able to tie the series up at 1, and now they get another square up on a high-rise control.
Clean stuff out of the search. This is, like you mentioned, a repeat of what we saw in winners round 1 between these 2 squads with the high-rise control. It was a 3-1 last time in favor of Lore, but it almost feels like here on Championship Sunday, none of those numbers mean a damn thing. We're going to go to a quick break, come back with the control right after this.
Call of Duty League Championship Weekend is brought to you by Razer, the official headset and chair of Optic Texas.
Upgrade your game with the Scuff, the official controller of the Call of Duty League.
Scuff and Optic have teamed up once again, this time for a limited edition Prism Mystery Box with an exclusive design in 5 different colors. Grab yours today at scuffgaming.com/optic-prism, and you could be one of the lucky few to unbox the gold controller.
Welcome back to the grand finale of the Modern Warfare 3 season and our Challengers Championships. Amid Brooklyn, Lore Gaming in a 1-1 heat at the moment. But for Mid Brooklyn, hey, you start off this series great. First time on any main stage for Challengers this year, whereas Lore Gaming, at least by organization, have been here every single time. So coming off 1-1 is going to feel pretty good with the high-rise control coming up next year.
Yeah, high-rise control is going to be mixy, but it's a rematch from the first time that they matched up, and it was Lore walking away with a clean 3-1 victory to close it out and a clean 3-0 for the series. So if you are Lore, you're feeling super confident going into this map, especially off of that search and destroy that you guys played.
Yeah, and I think the thing about it is, you know, this doesn't get talked maybe about too much, but in terms of coming out of the upper bracket and having the ability to select what both of the control maps are going to be, Lore Gaming have a huge advantage because they've played a lot of high rise and they were able to take away Amit Brooklyn's best map, which is the Invasion. A little teaser if we end up getting to a Karachi control for our second overall control map. But it all starts here. And again, the focus is not just, can Amit Brooklyn find a way to steal this map away? Can he possibly change the momentum of this entire series to go back-to-back and respawns?
Just got to make the adjustments from the last go-around. They're losing 3-1. At least in my mind, seems to feel like you lost a couple defensive rounds, gave up some early segments. ARs didn't really have a lot of presence, so early on into this one, Omid Brooklyn on the attacking side. 2Real's actually going to be running that SMG, dominating through bottom pit. He's able to find a double to start.
And that's something we have to keep an eye on throughout the entirety of this map. Whether it's on the offensive or defensive side, 2Real loves that underneath pit area. On the other side, we've seen Cammy really take over on this map once the ARs can get into good position. So that's the other kind of key here for Mid Brooklyn is, can your SMGs allow your ARs to take an extra step forward? Because then Cammy can do stuff like that.
That's what Cammy does, man. Another multi-kill in the feed, dominating over towards B Street. You're showing presence early on in towards his B point, but the stun is good enough. Not able to lead to the kill from PaulX. Prolude is able to stay alive. That first segment is about to come in, but 2Real slides in at the right time. That leads to 3 dead. Purge, you just got to play your life now.
2Real's a crazy man. Legitimately just runs and guns, and now he's all of a sudden feeling like he can make the play over towards the get spawn. Good pushback though from Purge. AR is out as Mid Brooklyn need to find a way to at least move this Lore Gaming defense back a little bit further, but Yuli picks up on Purge, making the move over towards Elevator Alley, and now we're down to 30 seconds.
And if you are Lore, someone put yourself on that B point so you can decap that first segment coming in. If you are on Mid Brooklyn, give yourself opportunity still to try to work that objective, but you have routes being hit from Yuli, all the kills in the feed in favor of Lore with only 15 seconds left, not a single segment earned. You got to try to switch it up, but you got to do it quick.
Yeah, Lore Gaming know where these forward members are. Pistol out for Paul.
Hello.
Yeah, able to catch Cammy, just unfortunately falls off a little bit, has the mantle. Back into the point though, and maybe a chance to get this first segment. Does get contested, but Awakening comes back over, and he will at least secure 1 tick, but that's a minor footnote in what was a dominant Lore defense.
That was way too easy right there from Lore. You had the ARs holding down their power positions, but 2Real playing with that confidence. Flies early on into the round, catches a double through bottom pit. Second life, works his way into B, finds another double, and then instantly in your spawn. So a good tone-setting round right there out of Lore to go up 1-0.
And that's the thing about this Lore team. When we've seen them in the past, especially in Season 3 of Challengers Elite, it was 1 AR on one side, 1 AR on the other, 2Real, go crazy.
Yep.
And when he finds success like he did there in the opening round, this Lore team gets extra dangerous, especially when it's a high-rise control.
And so now in this attacking round, all you have to do is make up for 1 segment. You outslayed him in that first round as well, so 2 segments is gonna at least put you in the advantage spot. Now they have already worked their way out of their spawn, showing presence in towards B. RCD strikes first, Purge effectively on the trade, and that's Omid Brooklyn holding down that B Street.
Yeah, great follow-up from Awakening, but RCD gets into the picture, allows Yuli to just stay a little bit further forward here at the B alley. But Brooklyn looking to take some helicopter control here on their defensive setup. 2Real snapping it out, able to find the first, and he seems to be alerted that there could be another one nearby, and as he finds that, Yuli gets another. So now once again, you've got members for Lore starting to push forward with the clock coming to a pause at 52 seconds.
And now clock at a pause, you have the double stack potentially going in towards the speed point, but PaulX is trying to play for the kills all spawn. Awakening gets the better of him, so 2Real still the sole man here, trying to make plays happen. Just gonna jump on out, realizing the situation, trying to play for a couple kills, but Cammy catches him slipping.
Yeah, can't catch the timing. ARs really weren't in position to help out 2Real much at all from that angle, and Purge will follow up with a double of his own. Yuli able to find the trade, 23 playing 21, 35 seconds though on the clock, and this is kind of the same thing, just opposite teams here for this second offensive round. The B zone is going to be the focus here for Lore, trying to get at least this first tick done.
Oh, but they're not finding any of the kills in the feed. That's a clean 4 dead. Utter dominance right there, Omid Brooklyn over towards that right side of your mini-map. But now with only 20 seconds left, not even a segment earned so far on the side of Lore. You thought your first defense was good, but Omid Brooklyn here coming out with a better response. 10 seconds remaining, you can't leave your base.
And I love this idea for Amit Brooklyn. If you know that 2Real and Yuli are going to try to run through you, everyone pull out an MCW and just lock down a lane. Get your information, get good help from across the map. It just never allows Lord Gaming to make a move up the map whatsoever. That 4AR setup, dominant.
But they had an opportunity to do so when 2Real and Yuli combined for 3 kills in the feed.
Absolutely.
It wasn't a stack on the point. We pushed them to their spawn instead of thinking about that objective. And you now need another shutout round on defense because it's still a 1-segment difference.
You see Purge and Prolute talking about something here coming into their next offensive round. And I imagine that's a lot of, can we stop 2Real from getting into our backline immediately, please? We'll see if they decide to run out with double SMGs just to try to counteract what 2Real wants to do on this defensive side. Whatever it was passionate, though, from Purge, trying to communicate what he feels needs to happen here in this round of Prolute.
Now we switch it back on up. Prolute does end that round on 5 in a row, so you probably want to play this one a little bit safe. Potentially earn that cruise missile. Hoping that your teammates can find success out of your spawn, but everyone drops. Now Prolute, farthest player pushed on up. It's just going to back him and try to assist his teammates on the way out.
He's kind of in a weird spot right here, just hoping he can find someone crossing over through this backside blue alley. But for the side of Lore, they're happy with the positions that they have at the moment. Prolute's still hunting, trying to find kill number 6. Does he see Paul underneath? No, but the door, has that maybe given him a bit of a clue? Sure seems to have been the case. Yeah, he'll communicate that. Here comes the response, Awakening able to shut down the play, and now the focus for mid can start to move over towards the... Oh, no, 2Real tried to get over to the scaffolding, but it was already being mantled. A little bit of an edge grab situation there.
And that leads to a clean 4 dead, so Prolute's instantly going to invest that cruise missile to work up these segments over towards his B point. It's a triple stack. You get the info onto every single player. You should be able to extend this time. Great patience out of Prolute to play that streak the way that he did. It allows that time to get extended. 1:35 to work with.
Yeah, but the follow-up here from Lord Gaming, honestly, is picture perfect. Prolute's been seen over towards your spawn. Yuli trying to hold his ground as long as humanly possible. And the help is on the way from 2Real. This is a lot of pressure from Lore. I mean, 2Real's able to get into the picture, allow Yuli to reset. He's now on 3 in a row. Awakening next one up and almost finishes it off himself. But still, the forward progress here for Lore's defense is considerable.
Yeah, because you would take that if you are Lore, because Omid Brooklyn had to invest a lot of time to take down Yuli in the back of their spawn. So it was 1:40 to work with, now only a minute left. A lot of map control to go with that, though.
Yep.
And all of Lore coming off of the respawn, dominating over towards B Street. This is a crucial moment in this game.
Varsity just staying patient, looking for his perfect time to pop over, able to take down Cammy. Alerted that there's a player nearby. The beatdown is good. Now all of a sudden a 4-man feed. 18 plays 13. Lore off to the races, trying to get up and close personal with this event spawn.
And RCDs is on 5 in a row. It's your turn now. Potentially find a cruise missile of your own. As with 38 seconds, all of Omid Brooklyn just trapped into their base. Paul X shooting great, just like map number 2. And time is again getting away from them.
It's just down to can Arcedes find kill number 6 here, because the round seems done and dusted.
Oh, timing.
Yeah, Arcedes just tries to play a different corner, gets caught on the rotation, so no cruise missile here. Paul still a menace over through the Emit front side at green. Pistol out, looking to try to see if he can recover on where Emit Brooklyn are really getting out of spawn with, and there is a chance here. 2Real's the only defender inside the site, and it's going to be on to Prolute and Purge to try to touch this zone. They have to cross right by 2Real, who's in the perfect spot for it, but the clock stops at 1.4. 2 members on, and trophy systems are here.
Yes, a double stack, and you have Cammy watching that mid cross, but he gives it up at the wrong time. And that leads to his teammates dropping. So even though Lore secured a defensive round, that is now 4 segments in favor of Omid Brooklyn. You just need another shutout. You can even give up that B point, but you are guaranteeing yourself defense as long as you hold here.
Absolutely the case. And maybe a bit of a lifeline there for the side of Lore that they didn't get that first tick at A, because that would have made things a lot more difficult coming into this round. But here's the play from Arcedes. Slips away. Good prediction and pop, pop. No worries. Shuts down Prolute, and then after that, it's just all defense pretty much the rest of the way through. So the question here is, can Lore Gaming meet that 4 ticks of total progress, or maybe best it? Starts with this B zone, though. Have to find some success there.
Yeah, you have to get a stack going. When you get a couple kills around the map, let's use some teamwork instead of playing for your KD. Now you're early on fighting over towards B Street, but Purge is causing mayhem. He's able to at least put RCDs at 15 HP. He's going to slow down that play a little bit, and Prolute dominates towards top heli with that double. Just now going to slow down the approach from Lore, working out of their spawn.
This is the same thing for Emit Brooklyn. It's still that 4 AR setup. 2Real trying to find an opening in the pits, as he often is. looking for some contact. Awakening able to find him over towards the A side of the map, and there's really no help there. It's just Two Real trying to force something, and that's one of the things I think when it comes to criticizing his play in the past, that's the stuff that we've seen that's just like, brother, you got to slow down a little bit.
Because things like that are just not necessary. Two of your teammates drop, you just slide out, spinning around in circles, try to locate where someone was, giving up your life for free. Now with only 35 seconds left, everyone trapped on the side of Lore in the back of your spawn, but thankfully one player is out in PulsefIre. What is he going to be able to get done on this flank area? He finds that opening onto Awakening, and that should alleviate a little bit of pressure from his teammates to not work their way out of B Street.
And this is key for Paul. You have to stay alive as long as humanly possible. And, well, interesting enough, Lore out of spawn. We're looking what they wanted to go A. You've got Two Real freely in the B zone, but this is split focus for Lore. A little bit messy at the moment for the offense. Cammy's been seen on the route and heading over. RCDs takes care of it. Another kill tallied. But still, the focus of the offense is split, and we need to see some concentration here.
Yeah, but right now, it's at least splitting the defense off from Omid Brooklyn. You have to commit to take down RCDs off the A, and now the double stack is here at this B point. They do have the numbers advantage. Thankfully, Yuli with the gun, he finds that kill on Zaprolu on 3 in a row. Second segment is in. The 3 stack is also here, but Omid Brooklyn giving it one more chop.
Yeah, and the thing about this is that keep flooding over to the middle of the map. No one's watching this. The A side is completely open for the defense, but the shot's inside the point. Good for Paul. Second tick, now the third, locked in. And we're looking for 4 in total, but Cammy, front side green. Impressive movement, able to track things down and get himself a double. Eventually traded out, minute 12 on the clock, and now the focus can start to move over towards A with a couple of kills coming in favor of Lore.
And Lore's able to find the double, so RCD's gains info onto Prolude as well. Can you put someone on the objective to put the game clock at a pause? PulsefIre is too busy trying to stay alive in this corner. Everything getting invested. He was not expecting that close ball, but he walks out with the Renetti and finds that kill. Now it's a one-on-one, but he unfortunately is going to get taken down by the players coming off of the respawn. Two Real tries to make a play. He falls, and Omid Brooklyn shut down that first attempt.
That was nearly the perfect setup, though, for Lore Gaming. With to cut off that front windows play, but the wins are just not there. Yuli, a great map from him, 21 and 17. Trying to hold on to the helicopter stairs. Ball from the opposite side of the map, get into work, trying to at least figure out where this defense is. Onto the zone they go. 33 seconds on the clock is what it'll stop. Contest in for Purge, who gets figured out. Zero just runs through the entire defense, able to find himself a second. Awakening and Cammy hold true, but you got a member on. Paul can stop the clock and get to work on this first tick, and the help is good for now the stack is over.
And that's a big double. Both the players now coming off of the respawn. First segment in, no more respawns remaining for Omid Brooklyn. Purge and Cammy though, they combine for 2, make it 3, all 4 down. Lore Gaming now only have 2 players to rely on, RCDs and Two Real, but they're trapped in the back of their spawn.
And the question will now be down to what does the life count look like between these 2 squads, because they do match that 4 ticks of progress. So round 5, the question here is, the fall off the map still gives credit to a kill for the other side, and that's what it's going to come down to in terms of who gets that round 5 favor.
Yeah, that might come back to bite them right there, because when a couple bullets go into your body and you jump off that map, that blesses Purge with that final one. So, such a nail-biter of a game in this control. Could be the turning moment of how this series is going to go. Who is going to be the team on defense to start off this round number 5?
Both teams have had good looks offensively for almost winning rounds, though, especially lately. So as much as we often give a lot of advantage over to the defending side, we've seen a lot of round 5 defenses crumble. And it will be Lore Gaming on for a back-to-back offensive approach. Julian Arcene's working over towards the A side of the map. Everyone else is looking for contact through B, and it's Awakening who kicks us off with first blood. Two Real's route completely held. No worries for this event defense to start.
And I think if you're Lore, you cannot afford that split sort of push on your attacking round in this round. You want to try to extend this time early on. Give yourself a little bit more to work with. Close out this B point, but currently have bottom pit control. All of Omid Brooklyn showing presence over towards A. Thankfully, Prolu is at least able to take down one before falling. The trades are abound. Still haven't worked that objective here.
Oh, Yuli just needs to hold on to this B alley. Good win from RC's over towards top. Pelly, does he get a second? Almost. Cammy with the shutdown though, so it's just down to Yuli. Help is on the way, just at least watch over his B alley. One trophy system in the zone for now. Paul, big win on the Purge, he tried to get a little bit elevated. Prolu running up towards Elevator Alley, doesn't get seen at all somehow because Paul was trying to bounce away. Pistol doesn't allow him to get the second, and the defense recovers the B zone.
Now Two Real just running around the middle of the map, trying to make a play happen. I guess Purge has no idea that he's going to be in that position. He's able to be blessed with a freebie. Now the players coming on spawn are finding those guys from Omen Brooklyn, roaming around their spawn. That's now 3 dead in the feed. Second segment already complete. The double stack is going to be here. It should lead to time being extended.
Keep your eye on Prolud, though, is able to sneak around the back. Too real in trouble. Still at 150 HP, but the nades that are coming through just do not allow him to make much motion happen. Third tick being depleted. 19 plays 16, 30 seconds on the clock. Lore Gaming still fighting out of spawn.
Prolud is playing out of his mind so far. Both of these respawns could not earn himself that cruise missile. But that's a big set of kills right there from Lord. 3 dead in the feed with 20 seconds left. You're going to put yourself in a position again to put the game clock at a pause, but now time is extended.
And Yuli's got some A-zone control. He's just going to jump immediately on. That stun doesn't quite get there, but Prolud bails him out. A double, able to find one on the exit, plus the player contesting over towards A. 15 plays 12. Defense still have the advantage in lives, but there's a minute 10 of the clock still for Lore to work with.
Yeah, now if you're Omen Brooklyn, let's just slow the game down a little bit. You only have a minute left. It's going to allow Lore Gaming 1 to 2, potentially 3 opportunities. Think about this objective. 13-11 in lives remaining, effective on the trades. Great shots out of Awakening. Now you're sending Cammy. Can he find a double onto Paul X? He's had multiple multi-kills so far in this series, but time with only 45 seconds to go. Lord only have 8 lives remaining.
Yeah, they need to be efficient here on this next approach. Cammy still knows that Paul's nearby. Big win, and now the focus from Brooklyn can start to look over the cross side of the map. But Turiel, a route around the back. Does he catch anyone? Lingering over through mid? No, he doesn't quite see the player in the window. So now in Brooklyn, looking good for the defense. 10v4 situation. Yuli's shots were close to finding the kill on Awakening, but now Cammy's in your spawn, and the clock is really forcing the issue for Lore. Just down to 1. Brooklyn look good to take the edge in the series, and that's the case with the final double for Prolud.
And that one's got to be a tough pill to swallow right there if you are Lore. Because you had a phenomenal defense to start the game. You only allow 1 second to get away from you, but then your next attacking round, your first attacking round, you get absolutely nothing done because we're more focused on playing kills, playing off the spawn instead of playing for the stack, and it comes back to bite them.
That's the thing, and we've seen this happen to challengers before.
All the time.
But just playing for kills. And I think the way you kind of categorize that in their first offensive look, like you mentioned, a chance to stack, but instead, they're thinking too macro, too zoomed out to where I want to play for the spawn control, make sure the defense never gets back into the map, and then we win our offense completely, when instead maybe we should just be focusing on, let's just get the extra time first.
Sometimes players just think 2 to 3 plays ahead when you need to be focused on the moment at hand, on the task at hand. You find 3 kills around the map. We know how difficult it is to even think about objectives on a map like High Rise. So when you find 3 to 4 dead, you have to take advantage of those moments. You cannot continue to put a couple players in positions playing towards top heli, pushing on towards B Street, to try to play for those kills, because if you lose those kills, everyone off the respawn's got a stun and a nade and in a 4v2 advantage to retake that site. You just have to have a better game plan as a collective team unit, and unfortunately they didn't have it there.
Maybe some memories of how they played up against this Brooklyn team before and said we did find efficiency doing this offensively, doesn't come through this time. And I think at the top of that, you know, for Brooklyn, that defense, that 4 AR setup, it's not new. We've seen that happen a handful of times before. But it's the fact that no one's forcing the same kind of engagements that, not to point fingers, but like Turiel was trying to do. Purge is playing more reserve. You're getting a little bit more kind of help from Prolud rather than initiating energy, and that just kind of kept this Lore team a little bit off balance.
And it was the adjustments coming in from Prolud, because he started off the game with the SMG. He was contesting Turiel around that bottom blue, bottom pit area, but then he realizes on defense, what the hell am I using that for? I'm going to put myself towards top heli. I'm going to dominate with the AR in hand. And every single time Cammy was holding down a lane, it was Prolud on the opposing side. Finding success. So perfect game plan right there for Prolud to make those adjustments with the gun.
Yeah, and I think the thing too is, you know, as much as Turiel has at times been kind of a catalyst in terms of his ability to take over, you put him in the blender a little bit, he becomes a non-factor. So really good game plan, like we just kind of reiterating here from Brooklyn in terms of shutting down one player in particular and just making life extra difficult for Lore. So yeah, great call out from you, Jay. And a big map in the macro sense of what this best of 7 will look like now, with Brooklyn able to stretch this a little bit further, especially considering, like we talked about on the weekend, Invasion was their playground. Plenty of reps on the High Rise, but then they were 3-2 overall on it. So this definitely felt like in the series layout, a map that War Gaming were hoping to win.
And now that's 2 respawns that they have been able to right the wrongs of the first time they played. The real hard point to start, now the High Rise control. You're up 2-1 in the series, and you have all the momentum on your side. You're going into a Karachi hard point now, which could be a very, very good map for them. You saw the way that they played. You have players like Purge, who is going to be running around setting the tone early on. But Cammy's always thinking about that rotation, the way that Prolud has been playing so far today. He's having a fantastic time. And if you are Turo on the opposing side, you saw how aggressive he can be, how much fun he is to watch when he is playing on point. But when he gets into that mix, like you said, my friend, it's just really, really hard to get out of. You got to take a deep breath, realize the moment, and then just slow down your game at certain times.
And that's, you know, I think just to kind of categorize challengers, especially with players that have fallen off the CDL now back in trying to reprove themselves, is there's often that moment of, I have to make a play. We're at the final moments here, and there is no more I or me. It has to be a we, an us type effort, and that can sometimes be elusive for some of the SMG players because they're used to just chasing down an extra kill and finding it.
That's the thing that could be really, really scary or really, really good. Because if it goes in your favor, obviously you're going to have a field day. You're going to be talking about it for the next couple of weeks. So I dominated, especially on the grand finals, on the main stage. I was playing phenomenal with my SMG. But then when it doesn't go your way, now you're sitting there like, what am I doing? Am I costing my team? What can I do to be better? And sometimes in the moment, it's very difficult to find that answer.
Yeah, and I think just kind of talking about the scene and the community as a larger sum, we've seen players fall out of the CDL, come into challengers, and they're just individually gifted enough to keep doing their own thing, and wow, this guy is still impressive, but it doesn't work out in the league.
Yeah.
On the other side, we see some players drop down to challengers and kind of have a moment of reflection of, I need to be more of a system-style player. Maybe you look at kind of the opposites of 2Real versus like a Purge, who really has come back into the challenger space, found himself a good role, and he's been efficient for this Submit Brooklyn team.
Yeah, Purge has been fantastic ever since he goes from the CDL to here.
Yeah.
Because in the CDL, what was it, like a 0.7, 0.8?
Wasn't good.
Wasn't really the best, but they were still finding W's. I still don't understand that roster change if I got to think about it again. But you can think about another couple of players, like a player like Joe Deceives, who was on that LAT to start. He drops down to challengers, and then he just gained so momentum, and then he understood what he needed to bring to the table when he got the big call back on up. And you see what it has done for that young man. A phenomenal weekend of gameplay from him. You finished top 4, but back into this series we go. Omid Brooklyn currently up 2-1 into the Karachi hardpoint. They're not starting on the preferred side.
Yeah, just inject the energy right into my veins, what we're about to see here in this Karachi hardpoint. It is going to be Mixi, a bloodbath. At least that would be the expectation. Awakening pistol out, able to find the first, has 2Real. At least targeted down low. Prolude follows. Yuli seen up top. Good shots from Prolude, and he will jump right back to the hard point. And Mid Brooklyn finding some really good time here, but the battle back from War even better as the AR starts to wake up.
Yeah, that's fantastic from Lore. You're finding 3 in the speed. You're in control of the spawns and the rotation over towards new. So Omid Brooklyn is seeming to be cutting their losses and hitting that early rotation. And they find that first kill onto 2Real. So they have the numbers. They can bombard the way out towards the bus stop. Unfortunately, the beatdown this time around for RCDs is not able to connect. And Omid Brooklyn have now set themselves up for a perfect response here at B2.
Yeah, and Purge just going to make sure nobody jumps over this wall for free. Stun, Semtex is all being played, and he can back up over towards the heady. Paul just trying to keep him interested, but it's fine for Purge. Says, any day of the week, I'll take that battle. And Cammy getting 2 through mid, has him at Brooklyn, already dominating over towards
this
B2.
This is a big moment of the game right here, because still with 40 seconds to fight for, Lower Gaming do not want to invest all of their lives to jump over that dumpster. So you're going to have a couple routes being hit. Paul X somehow, some way was able to find a double in that scenario. They have yet to contest in towards Cafe.
It's already gone.
Is seeming like they're just going to give this one up for free. Hit that early roto.
That was a chalk and rotate at 45 seconds. I mean, just the zone of control that Mid Brooklyn had, especially Awakening playing up top on AC like that, just never gave Lore a chance to try to battle back in. So a couple of good kills on rotation here, but you have to be essentially just as perfect as a Mid Brooklyn were if you want to get this thing back to level terms.
And I guess they already sniffed out the positioning of Prolude. They're trying to isolate onto him. Yuli's just going to walk right by him. All right, there goes the communication. Good to find that first kill, and now a 40-point difference. All the kills in favor of Lore. Fully set up now at this P3, which tends to be a 60 if you can set up properly.
Timing is going to be everything here for Paul. He's got a lot in front of him. Does find the first through mid, but nothing beyond it, as now all of a sudden Mid Brooklyn starts to make their play over towards market side. Yuli shutting down the potential of a split pinch coming through, and then 2Real steps up and deals with the garage play. Mid Brooklyn still finding a couple of kills. What happens to the spawns here if you're Lore Gaming? They're deep. They're over towards bridge side, so Mid Brooklyn very well may break this from the side over towards the junk area. RC is just holding for cover, looking for help.
Just trying to stay alive. Waiting for his teammates to set down a couple crossfire shots over through that chicken coop area.
What a play.
RC's is getting it done. Finessing with that AR in hand, big kill onto Awakening. You're sending Paul X to find a trade, but it's still RC's here trying to contest for this final 10. He wins that one-on-one gunfight. Remaining time in favor of Lore, right back into this game.
That's making lemonade out of lemons right there if you're Lore Gaming. That was the worst possible situation, spawning over towards bridge, but a very huge heads-up play from RCDs to get this thing back to neutral. Over towards the new hard point we go. Early time for Paul as he tries to stay on the hard point. The rest of the battle happening over the middle of the map, and Yuli able to track down ProLoot, gives Lord Gaming a more comfortable setup.
They're able to take the lead, and even with Omen Brooklyn putting himself in great power position to contest this, they're just soaking up all this hill time. Wow. A lot of presence around the middle of the map. Finally, Awakening is able to find a kill. But this has been a perfect P4 to start. 30 uncontested seconds. You cannot give up this time if you're Omen.
We do not often see that happen. This kind of reminds me of like the Invasion Courtyard hardpoint, where teams are playing for map control, not hardpoint control. Not the case here as Lord Gaming continued to soak up more time. The lead grows to 20+. Awakening able to neutralize the scrap time as the battle starts to rage out over towards the junkyard. Paul a little bit mixed up. RC is able to find one trade, looking for another. Has the pistol out, but 2 real bails him out, and Lord Gaming a chance to win the rotation now all of a sudden to 5.
That is fantastic, man. You soak up a lot of that P4 time. You already have players contesting off the roto. 2 real effective on that trade onto Awakening. You do not have the spawns, but you have to try to read this route coming in from ProLoot. They get that. Wow. They find the second kill. Lord work their way right through the front door.
And 2 real trying to force the issue even further forward. Shut down by Purge. Yuli over the top of the cars. Good angle for him to try to finesse a little while longer, but hold on a second. Then Brooklyn start to find a couple of kills from the front. Last players left alive. Not going to be able to hold the candles. ProLoot takes down 3, and he gets to work getting up top to Hotel.
Still a lot of time here. Good time here. 30 seconds remaining here at P5. So if you are Lore, all the spawns through that front end. Can you hit a couple stuns or nades to try to take him off this objective? But ProLoot again falls down. Awakening finds a double. This final 20 is going to be in favor of Omen Brooklyn, and this is where you got to chain those kills with the map control. Yep. Start to be aggressive in these moments.
Absolute blender right now for Lord Gaming. ProLoot up and over through secret escape. Could not quite find the ledge to grab. So his streak gets shut down. Lord Gaming able to recover on rotation. Tie game as we head to our second set of hills.
Now, if you are Lore, you saw what happened in the first half. You were able to have a good look here at P1, but instantly lost that rotation over towards P2. You have to put a lot of focus on that here. Not afford to give up another full 60, but you're dominating over towards bridge side. You're forcing Omen Brooklyn to continuously re-spread on their approach, and they're just getting picked apart one by one.
And ProLoot really can't do anything from this position. They were banking on Purge's flank coming around the back for free. Doesn't happen. Arcides gets lost track of somehow as ProLoot tried to really kind of get over towards Barrel Alley. Good shots from Cammy. Neutralizes the time on the hard point for now, but Lord Gaming still have a very preferable setup. But Awakening starts to get to work on that. He is doing it all himself over towards the outside P4 street. Eventually shut down, but the focus towards the rotation has us in a bit of a battle over towards the top of Dude.
Yeah, this time around, Lord Gaming have more bodies in the right positions to win the rotation over towards New. 2 are contesting on the backside of Red, realizing where the spawns are coming in from Omen Brooklyn, but you cannot afford to fall in this setup here if you are Lord, because you don't want to be put in that situation where you're forced to jump over that dumpster again.
Awakening, tough battle. Able to at least get the hip fire out. Take care of Arcides. Cammy shut down from playing up top. The rest of this hit now from Mid Brooklyn has to be used through Red. And 2 real just gives himself enough separation to at least go 1 for 1. Yuli picks up the baton. Takes control. Top Red now all again for Lore. Time has been clean. I mean, this first 30 seconds hasn't even been contested in any form for Mid Brooklyn, and that's not changing anytime soon.
Yeah, the adjustments so far have been fantastic. Early off the rotation with about 20 seconds left. Lord Gaming trying to at least try to side a series up here at 2-2. Let's step aside and go to listening with Lord.
Top of me.
Hey! Don't jump. He's low. Come back up to your ladder. Go right. Plenty of time. Go. Take your time with this, okay? So.
Let's go, baby.
You're by yourself. We spawn a little. Take parking breaker here. Nice, good job.
Right and right. She's got right, bro.
Hablo 19, Kill tiene ese pana.
Top bricks. He's going top 3, I think. Awakening. I'm fine.
I'm looking top left. I got top left.
I'm answering up on that. That's one left.
You go top and play song.
Then stun him. He's on the stairs. Awakening dead. I'll go, Yuli. Go. I don't see a trophy in hill, bro.
I'm in Nathan.
Yeah.
Nothing bites, bro.
On hill.
Have your back pinch.
He got me. He's arching. He's arching time awakening. Close me. One square. Beat him hell. Nice. Keep on the cross.
Get time.
Peek in the corner.
Nice.
I got time. Get time. I got it. Ivor cross again.
Yo, top.
It was a good time.
Top, watch out.
I need a top. Low me too.
He's
He's in the bike. Cammy weak. He's absolutely in bike. Let's do it.
I'm gonna take it out. Let's switch. Stuck in bike.
Cameo shot.
Bike.
I'm trying.
I'm gonna pinch castle. Get your streak.
Absolute cameo.
I got it.
How about the battlefield general and Arcitys? Boys, keep it calm. Let's take our time on this. Works out for a picture-perfect breakover 3, and 2Real is having his way in the 1v1 versus Purge.
Yeah, two-time world champion. You best believe he's going to be leading in the comps because you know what it takes to win. If you are Omen Brooklyn, you gave yourself opportunity to fight your way back into the game at the end of that P3. You allow Lord Gaming to keep it mixy, still a 60-point difference. You're going back and forth in the kill department, but now it's 2Real's turn to strike. Does he have that pillow on the stage to be a little bit more comfortable? I don't know, because Prolu gets the better of him there.
Ball for the trade, though. Keeps the hard point open. Shots through the wall to Cammy. Decent, but Cammy holds the angle and wins the day. 15 seconds to still fight for it. Awakening going to be the one hitting the route, and Arcitys seems to be aware of it. Gets to the gunfight first, and Lord Gaming will hold control as they try to rotate over to Junk again.
Yeah, they got to be fully set up off this rotation at that. Got 3 players set up around this red area. Yuli working his way over towards Coop to watch the overextension, but you also want to put yourself in a position to not let anyone slip on by.
Yeah.
Because Cammy right now is putting down shots from top 3 at the same time. All of his teammates applying pressure through the front.
Arcitys trying to watch the Pulse corner, tries to get back over to the hard point, not going to happen. So now it's all on to 2Real. Doesn't expect the player up top, and that's enough for Prolu to find the kill. But the spawn's still close here for Lord. They can reinforce this quickly. Prolu up top, still holding his ground. A major moment for Mid Brooklyn. Have to win this next wave of kills. Cammy getting to work with Awakening, and Prolu from the high ground continues to rain down Hellfire. 2Real at least gets one trade, but Mid Brooklyn are in the hill for now.
Yeah, it's a big stun that comes in, and now Lord realizes the situation at hand. This is an opportunity, if you are Omen Brooklyn, to try to get yourself back into the game. But the cruise missile is a 1-for-1 trade. Omen Brooklyn right back into that objective. Final 15 is going to breach them to about 180 points, a 30-point difference going into the third half of this game.
All just guarding the mid flank. Purge able to find the trade. Yuli able to find a nice piece of timing for the double. That's going to be big for Lord to get into the hard point early if they choose to. Do they know that Cammy's playing around the back? Yuli's on the hunt for him. Hasn't been able to find him as of yet. What does the timing look like here? Should be able to kill him cleanly, and that's indeed the case. Lord Gaming finding every single elimination and a chance to win the game here.
Just need another wave of kills, and Paulix dominating over towards his left side street. On 4 in a row, only needing 20 seconds if you are Lord to tie the series up again. And Omen Brooklyn just going 1 by 1. You cannot afford this in this moment. 10 seconds to the game.
Got to find this hit through hotel side. Yuli watching Purge over the middle of the map. Shut down. Clean shots from Paul, who gives him a bailout tool if they need it, but they will not need it in any form. Oh, pop-off moment from Yuli. Paul able to get to, I think, 7 in a row, and Lord Gaming keep us going map for map.
And that was the adjustments that came in on the second half of that game, man. They realized the P2, we couldn't even find a single second the first go around. But you're winning the rotations this time. You dominate early on for the first 25 to 30 seconds at P1. You dominate over towards red with 2 early rotations, and then that's when you have the cruise missile to keep the game in your favor. But I thought Omen Brooklyn, they gave themselves a shot at that P3. The fact that you are able to find a break in towards Coop,
yes.
You have the numbers advantage. You spawn up all the way at red. You're both committing on gunfights over towards Junk when that's simply unnecessary. Just sit down in the hill and soak up time.
It's that little bit of calm composure right in the middle of the map for Lord Gaming. Tight one. Arcitys the one says, yo, take our time here.
Yep.
Let's just do this right. And I think a lot of that also at the same rate is that Purge was trying to just kind of black out and run around the map. He had 1 second of hard point time, I think, and he still went like triple negative. Man.
Yeah,
I mean, that's just ridiculous.
Yeah, that's not good if you're Purge, because obviously you were filling yourself off of the previous respawn that you just played decent, but then in that map right there where your SMG needs to be felt, just running around the map, timing's not going your way, 50-50 chances, just wasn't a good performance there on that Karachi hard point. So the series all tied up at 2. Prolu had multiple opportunities. I feel like all throughout challenges, when players find themselves on 5 streaks, they are always dropping. They don't really play their life. Prolu at least had an opportunity in the last map to do it, but if he would have picked it up in that final moment, when that stun comes in and 2Real finds that kill, probably a different outcome.
I agree, absolutely agree. So there's the big spread as we got to the second set of hard points. Lord Gaming just so clean from 1 to 2, and then again, that break on P3, critical towards amassing too much of a gap that a bit Brooklyn were not able to recover. So we get a 2-2 count, which, of course, at best of 7, at least guarantees us 6 total maps. We've got the Invasion, Search and Destroy coming up next. Neither team has played this map this weekend. And then the Karachi Curl guaranteed. Good news, you would think, again, for the side of Lord Gaming.
The Search and Destroy, this one might be it right here, though. Whoever takes this Search and Destroy, obviously momentum's going to be on their side, but you put yourself at game point, at match point. We know what Yuli and Tura love to do, show a lot of presence in towards Broken. Same thing could be said for Perch and Prolu.
Yeah.
So this one's going to be a mixie. This Search and Destroy is everything for this series.
It's going to be a really interesting one. Heck of a way to start off our Championship Sunday, setting up the stage for what will eventually be Optic taking on New York for a second time, but we have to crown a champion first. We've got the Challengers Grand Finals continuing on the backside of the break.
Play like a pro. Scuff, the official controller of the Call of Duty League. Visit scuffgaming.com for all your gaming needs.
The Champs Tracer Pack is available now. The bundle includes the Reaper Operator skin, Ripper Weapon Blueprint, Death Stare Weapon Blueprint, Cuts Deep Charm, 2 calling cards, 2 emblems, and 2 weapon stickers. Use these items in both Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 and Call of Duty Warzone. Available in-store now using Call of Duty points.
The Call of Duty League is brought to you by Monster Energy, the official energy drink of the CDL.
back to Dallas, Texas in the Challengers Championship. And whew, what a series we've had to this point, a best-of-7 affair. It feels weird to say this. I was just kind of thinking about this in my head. Outside of the reverse sweep that Lord Gaming had earlier this year versus FaZe Black, we've had wipe-throughs on just about every single Challengers Grand Final stage. This one's a rare one. Back and forth we've gone.
Yeah, back and forth we've gone. We had one, right? Like you just said, the reverse sweep, super, mega, ultra, at that major 2 for Challengers. That was an insane play, and that was Lore actually walking away victorious there.
Yep.
So tied up all at 2. An invasion, search, and destroy here in this map number 5, man. This is such a grueling map because, at least based off of that map number 2, Lore, they dominated in that first blood column. On a map like Invasion, you cannot afford to fall short, especially on the defensive side, because all those setups instantly get broken.
Indeed the case. First time that either of these 2 teams have played this map, though, on the weekend. So what does the prep look like? You know, we gave a big shout out over to Coach Mystic on one side. How about Ricky Atura for the Lord Gaming squad? That's a name you probably haven't heard for a while, since when he was a pro back in the day in the BO4 days, but he has been coaching his buns off with this Lord Gaming squad. How prepared are they going to be, though, on this invasion search? Should be a fun one.
And shout out to Ricky Atura, because he was also a coach for Miami.
Good shout.
In the CDL, too, man. So he knows what he's talking about. As now we're going into this invasion, search and destroy. If my memory treats me nicely, I know that Cammy loves to play over towards that B site, man.
Yep.
So that's a guy that you got to put a lot of focus on. Because usually finding success at that A point is going to be very, very difficult because there's so many different corners you got to check.
The other person on Lore Gaming side you need to keep your eye on is 2Real, who often loves to get up to top broken, but sometimes likes to play an AR over the top of the A site. So that is going to give you a lot of indication in terms of what Lore Gaming want to do with their defensive setup. And in this one, it's actually Yuli who's kind of threatening a little bit further forward, as Paul had been seen topside tank.
Yeah, Yuli already puts himself in a position towards broken. Trying to assist Paul Lex, but he gives up his positioning now. So how do Lore decide to play this? To try to isolate onto Yuli, just throwing the shoulders, keeping that man bay, is allowing him to get out with his life.
He confirms information that there are players nearby, so not only does he stay safe, but he can maybe even help this defense make a decision in terms of what they want to do. Nate being cooked up here, that's decently placed, but doesn't fully connect onto anyone for major damage. Just a little bit of chip hit markers here and there. Crossing angle, 2Real with an SMG taking that battle. Odd to say the least, but at least a trade is in we stay 3v3.
That's a confident young man right there, but those are the gunfights you don't really want to commit on. Now with a 3v3 scenario, 25 seconds left. Look at the play coming in from Omid. Arsenes doesn't have enough shots to keep them at bay, but that bomb is likely to be planted over towards A. But look how fast Lore are going to respond.
Oh, huge first kill from Purge. Cammy trying to stick for the plant, not going to be able to get it off though, as Paul and Arsenes find the kills. Just down to Awakening. Can he find the last contestant? Arsenes is already on the way out. No time to pick up the bomb and plant. So Lord Gaming will take the opening round.
Hey, you know that's a world champion. He's not going to peek if it's not necessary. So Arsenes, all it took was to take down that player off site. Awakening was thinking that Arsenes was still going to be aggressive in that moment, but with only 10 seconds left, you literally have to do nothing. Just put down your controller, round victory in favor of Lore.
And I will say, in terms of, again, Yuli seeing the information early, and then Arsenes confirming the rotation, even though the smoke was played towards B, massive in terms of them knowing they had to double chow out Purge at tank, and then from there, of course, win out that Water Street side. So really good stuff using information if you're Lore Gaming, as now we get into their first offensive look, which, to be fair, often has kind of defaulted over towards this B site, but a lot of focus for these guys is double SMGs in towards tanks at mid.
Right now, they were watching that crossover towards B, realizing that no one pushes in towards broken, but his early presence for a moment in towards the mid cafe. Is Purge going to die to a car bomb? No, he's able to stay alive, but look at the position Yuli was able to take away.
Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. These Lore SMGs love to try to get into the mix up and early, close towards mid-map. Trades are decent, though, able to kind of stabilize their defense a touch. And in the same breath, look at the route that Prolude's been able to find. He has already scouted out that there could be a transition back over towards his B side.
Yeah, this is what Prolude is able to do, but his positioning is now going to be known. So if you are 2Real, got to play it slow off this wrap on the backside of bottom blue. 35 seconds to go. Eventually, we got to work either one of these sides.
They saw Prolude for a moment, so this is all about, do they actually try to isolate and find this kill? Prolude's just playing a 1-for-1 spot. A couple of shots come through. That's enough to get Prolude activated to play topside blue. Timing, everything here. Paul X caught. Shots returned, though. Prolude has to back off, and in the same breath, 2Real's going to get the plant off. How has Paul finessed that? Just down to Cammy, 1v2.
He has the info onto Paul X, but now you just want to continue to run around this blue area. Keep Cammy away from that site, because 2Real is going to be the safety net. just going to give up on this gunfight versus Paul. He realizes he's going to waste a lot of time trying to find that kill. So he's going to work over towards B, but repositioning from Lore going to be too strong.
Yeah, and Lore just checking corners, looking for info. Too Real will now see the cross. That's enough for Paul to start to make his move. Cammy trying to make something happen out of nothing, essentially, and it's just shoulders from Too Real that shrug him off from sticking through the defuse. Kill also not going to come through. A really solid start for Lore.
And that all comes down to Paul X dancing with death and going away with his life, man. The fact that Prolu gets the jump on him from top blue, doesn't commit on the gunfight. The way that Paul X was able to finesse around that pillar, the fact that he's able to find that kill eventually, basically locks up the round. So Lore now up 2-0. All tied up in the first blood column. But they're just making these mid-game adjustments look really easy for them.
Yeah, absolutely the case. And I think the thing about it is map control has largely, to this point, gone the way of what Lore want to be able to create. So we'll see if that continues to be the way that it goes, as Yuli, once again, trying to play over through dark side. That's a smoke out, but he does get naded, still commits to trying to make the transition over towards Broken. Paul still playing topside tank. Too Real watching the crossover through mid.
That smoke grenade getting invested. How much time this time around does Omid Brooklyn commit? Slowly working their way up through B. So you have a couple players now rotating over towards Water Street. RCD's going to gain all that info alongside Too Real, who are setting up a crossfire, but it just looks like Too Real's trying to get aggressive on that right side.
He's been seen, though. There should be information for mid-Brooklyn that they can play through tank. That's exactly what Purge is trying to do. Maybe a little bit laborious trying to get over towards it. Too Real able to get back to take some shots, but it's a tough battle. And how about Yuli? There's enough time killed off the clock for Yuli to come back to the play. Too much distraction, and now all of a sudden it's a 2v4, just 35 seconds on the clock.
Smoke grenade gonna go down. You know how the one-ways get down, and that's Prolu finding Too Real for that kill. Now with 25 seconds to go, still man advantage in favor of Lore. You gain the info that the play is going to be over towards A. Prolu with only 28 HP. Awakening wants that one back. 1v3, you stand no chance. Lore Gaming, flawless, 3-0.
That was the window, though. I mean, a lot of focus pulled back towards the bomb. Awakening has his moment. It's just the pistol shots don't quite land. He also would have had to deal with a second member for what it's worth, but still, Prolu did his job by keeping all focus on the bomb site. Just the kills were not there as they were needed. Now a 3-0 advantage quickly for Lore Gaming. Need to see something here for a bit.
And that's 2 times now for Lore's defense where they're instantly making that adjustment, realizing when the pressure is coming in and absolutely sending it around that mid-tank.
Yeah.
When you're playing in Razor Surge and Destroy, specifically on the defensive side, that mid-tank is so important. To continuously hold down that position because it cuts off the majority of the map. So Lore back on the attack. Yola with the SMG in hand, trying to show a little presence over towards B, but he's got a guy right next to him.
Yeah, and Arcides, I don't know if he's seen the cross onto Prolute, but if they can push him off this angle, I wouldn't be surprised to see Yuli try to bait out some sort of a fake smoke through B and then re-wrap this again, right back to Too Real's direction at mid. Looks like that's going to be the idea. Smoke still being held onto, though, so it's going to be a door pop. Purge in position. Awakening also watching the cross. Trophy system keeps it play safe, and Purge will find first blood. Almost gets a second, but it's still a 3v4.
33 HP, Purge is able to stay alive, so home in Brooklyn find the first blow, but Too Real pushes aggressively up the Water Street with the bomb in hand. Usually do not see plays like that, and he's continuing on that route.
I mean, he's a maniac play. Arcides able to find Cammy trying to play recovery, and now all of a sudden the B site's wide open. Arcides watching the cross through DVD. Shots out to Prolute, push him off the angle. Bomb going down for the plant, and now it's a 2v3 retake with the post plant set up for right screen.
Get your trophies down. Set up the ideal setup. One playing over towards the construction site, and the other one over towards tractor. So you're reading where the pressure's coming in. Throw your shoulders, set up the team shots where Prolute slides on in. First blood, 2v2.
Double hit was decent, but Arcides on the cross, able to tally up onto Awakening. Prolute just down to 14 HP, has to get on the reset, and Arcides tracks back over towards Palace Wall. Wow. This Lore Gaming team with the Surge is looking great, and even Arcides is over the button or letting them know about it.
They are just picking them apart, realizing what the setup is looking like on the side of Omid Brooklyn. Even Purge finding that first blood, Too Real, the cojones on that young man.
For real.
With the bomb in hand, with an SMG at that, to work his way up the Water Street to find that trade, but it was just textbook. It was a communication right there to Lore because they were always showing presence on the front side of B. Once Too Real gets that kill, he continue forward, you push the bomb through there. Spawn, you get it down towards B, at the same time you find a kill. Just an easy mid-round adjustment right there from Lore Gaming. Again, flawless so far.
Arcides finds himself 6-1 on 5 in a row as well. That may just put this map to rest if he finds himself a cruise missile. Then Brooklyn Wow, they're going to be dealing with some weird pressure here. Yuli with an AR and DVD. Jewelry with an SMG behind him. Yuli timing not great though. Is going to get caught trying to smoke himself for an extra lease on life. The pistol's through, but it's a messy engagement that Amit Brooklyn find first blood with, and they also track out 2 Real through Mid Cafe.
Now in the 2v4, Omit finally put themselves in a heavy man advantage. Have mid-tank control. Can instantly start to think about that objective over towards A, and your Arcitys are just playing for this 1 kill to guarantee that cruise.
That's what this round is all about right now. Getting kill number 6. Paul still holding the close cross on B. Tries to force something. Whoa, okay. Purge gets dealt with. Prelude has also been seen at mid-map. And all of a sudden, Paul can start to make a move around the back. Arcitys also doing the same thing on the other side. What are we doing? 2v4 situation. Now the bomb is down. It's just up to Awakening for a 1v2.
Okay, Awakening. Do you have something in the breadbasket? Because this is a round that you were looking forward to taking. Finds that kill onto PaulX. 1v1 again versus Arcitys.
But Arcitys has the benefit of the time. And he's read the rotation perfectly. Able to get mid-control, no chance for the plant. Are you kidding me? I mean, we're just distracted because Paul makes an aggressive play. We're just isolated like that?
We gotta be shook. Brother. Like, it's as simple as that. 2v4, we got mid-tank control. That is everything that you need to plant the damn bomb at A, but we don't even work the objective. And by the time you do it, you're allowing PaulX to isolate on 2 different one-on-one engagements. He gets the better of him there, and then Arcitys catches the timing to not allow the bomb to go down. Cruise missile in the back pocket, up 5-0. Looking for a flawless 6-0 here.
Ball game. It has to be just ball game right here. Serial making sure there's no aggressive play through DVD. Yuli setting himself up over towards the backside at Broken. And Amit Brooklyn's defense are all just surrounding this mid-cafe area and trying to stay alive. Cruise missile gonna get called in. And here comes the rotation over towards B immediately. Trying to curve this as Arcitys, but this is just delaying it. This is just delaying. That's all it is trying to create extra time for this bomb to get planted. But Juriel, he's gonna push out KB through Ice Cream, and now a 4v3.
Full B side control as well. We had Arcitys over towards this bathroom area, watching the overextension, but man advantage in favor of Lore. The objective is going down. Just need to have a great post plant for a flawless 6-0.
Looking good for it. Purge from one side. Awakening through mid-map actually takes down Arcitys through mid, so now all of a sudden the mid actually can try to flood this with some concentration. Paul trying to pick up the mid though. Right on the rewrap, and he knows he's got Awakening dead to rights, or does he? Uh-oh, here we go, 25 seconds. Purge gets over towards Tractor. Pro able to find the trade. It's just down to Yuli. Trying to create separation from the back end side, and no way.
Awakening somehow, some ways, able to find a double. Being the only player over towards A. The beat down on Arcitys was good enough, but the snap back onto PaulX now leads to him being on 5 in a row. So, Omid Brooklyn were able to secure at least 1 round so far in this search and destroy. It's still a long road away.
Yeah, absolutely. But maybe a chance for the Crews to come through for Awakening. I mean, we're selling hopium right now without question.
Full sale is what we're selling right now. This is going to be tough.
Shout out Bryce. The dream is never dead. See if they can find a way to make it happen, though. Opening shots for Awakening, get a couple of tags. Semtex to follow. Likely going to come up empty. Doesn't quite find Yuli on that close rotation through Dark. Passive setup here for Lord for the first time.
You can take your time here because you don't want to give that kill to Awakening. Giving them an opportunity on the way back into this game. How big Cruise missile can be, but 2-0 strikes for that first blood can be effective on the trade, but Arcitys keeps the man advantage in favor of Lord.
Problem is bomb does get dropped over towards A, and Arcitys follows up on Awakening, so now it's just down to Purge. 1v3, a very difficult spot here at DVD, and he's been seen. A couple of shoulders from Paul just to try to keep him locked into place. Rotations underway for the rest of Lore, and Purge, good first one, able to slip away from the second, and he's got an MCW. Does he maybe find timing here to get an isolation?
35 seconds to work with. That sounds is going to be invested. That bomb's still going to be down over towards that A site. You put down shots. You were thinking that you had the proper angle to commit on that gunfight, but Lore Gaming double stacking it towards B. I don't know if he was able to spot him on the cross. Now he gets both info. He has the info on everything.
Mutual information, though, feels like, yeah, Arcitys right back over to the tank. Purge, time is becoming an issue. Decent shots, but not going to happen. Too big of a lead. And, yeah, the crowd giving some respect over to Arcitys. who just has an absolute takeover map and honestly just plays the clock like the absolute pro that he is.
That's just unreal performances right there from Lord. Basically the same exact thing that they did in that map number 2. Great in the first blood column, but this time around, Omid Brooklyn, they just look so damn scared on the map. You find early first blood, you take mid-tank control, and we're just waiting for more kills to develop. It just doesn't make sense to me. The objective has to be the main focus. How are we gonna walk away victorious in the round? We get the bomb down, 40 seconds, it blows up, boom, 1-0 for us. Like, that's gotta be it, man. They're just making the game a lot more difficult.
2 different rounds off of timing, a third off of a 4v2 throwaway. The whole map could look different if you just play the objective a little bit differently, and of course, just try to play your numbers a little bit better. Tough situations overall here for the side of Omid Brooklyn.
And when you're watching Omid Brooklyn, that's not 2 search and destroy we've been able to see. And it's a lot of individual players trying to make individual plays. Not really team pushes, no crossfires being set up. Like, Frollo, you can go out here and go try to get something done because he plays S&D basically every single night. And the same thing could be said for Purge. It's just they're not finding success. And then when they're dropping, you're losing all the map control. Lore are taking full advantage of it.
Really good stuff, really clean stuff, especially considering, like we talked about at the top of the broadcast here, Omid Brooklyn were flawless essentially on Search and Destroy, save just 1 map throughout groups and the playoff bracket. Not the case here though. And that's also off 3 first bloods that Omid Brooklyn were able to find with really no trades coming immediately afterwards. So again, just that macro focus, it can sometimes be a little bit lost on the challengers.
Yeah, I guess they haven't figured out Search and Destroy on the day, man. Sometimes, you know, you're on or you're off. So far throughout the weekend, they've been phenomenal in Search and Destroy. But like we say all the time, COD is so day to day. Might not be your day today in Search and Destroy, but now you find yourself down 3-2 in the series. Backs against the wall. You do not want to lose to the same squad twice at 1 tournament.
Yeah, absolutely the case. But still, feels like there's a lot left in this series, especially with the Karachi control coming up next. That is literally feels like a roll of the dice at times. Not to put it so plainly, but let's be candid. 1 good push is all it takes to break open the map. And it feels like with the electricity that both of these 2 front lines can pull, it really could be anyone's game.
And we said before the break, because remember we were discussing on like how the Search and Destroy would play out ideal for both squads. If it's a blowout, it's demoralizing for the opposing team. If it's a really close game and you feel like you should have won, even worse. But the fact that they lose that 1 in the 6th one, you got Arseny standing out the chair. He knows what the hell is going on, especially in these kind of moments. All the momentum on the side of Lord Gaming. Just need a Karachi control to close this one out.
And who do you look at here? I mean, from the side of Omid Brooklyn, their first control in the high rise, well composed, much slower. They were running the 4AR setup on high rise. That worked out beautifully to be able to shut down players like Duriel. Who are you looking at here? Are you looking for something similar, or are you looking for the SMGs to just run and take over?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm looking for. I'm looking for Courage to have a big moment here, because that's what? 2 back-to-back maps where he really didn't find a lot of success. The previous respawn wasn't the best performance at all. And on a map like Karachi, the SMGs need to be felt, because we know people either prefer attacking side or defensive side, more specifically on the attack, because of how aggressive you can be when you get those close red spawns.
Well, the other storyline here is if this does go the way of Omid Brooklyn enforcing a Game 7, these 2 teams had played the Rio Search and Destroy. It went 6-4 last time around in favor of Lord Gaming. So that could lead to a barn burner, full best of 7. And I did say it at the beginning of this broadcast, this entire series may not just get there. The one after this also may go all 9. So we could see a lot of COD here today, which I'm here for.
I'm down for it. What, a total of 16 maps potentially on the cards here?
Good
so
map.
far we're going into map number 6, so it's going to be a good day of Call of Duty. We said it before the series even started. You guys got to lock into your chest, get your popcorn, be ready, because the action is nonstop.
Might need to get a full buffet line worth of meals here today, whether that be breakfast, lunch, dinner.
I'm down. I'm down. I'm hungry now. Yeah.
Looks like our players are about ready to go here. Fist bumps are out. Monster being sipped on, because of course it is. And that means that Karachi control is about ready to go here for us. Can this be where it all comes to an end? We've talked about the side of Lord Gaming. Their control holds a major advantage on this overall series because they took away Omid Brooklyn's best control map. But that didn't make a difference on the high rise. Can they find a way to close it out here with Karachi control? We're loaded in. We're locked in. Let's get it on.
Omid Brooklyn backs against the wall. You won the previous control in this series, but none more important than this. Keep your dreams alive to try to force this game number 7. It's going to be Lore on the defensive side early on. If you're Omid Brooklyn, just try to have early success, at least around that mid-map.
Oh, too real. Just completely paused on this route. Double stunned over towards this backside PA lane. but able to get through. Barrels in. Wow, okay. It's only Prolud that finds the kill, so the defense already off to the races. Clean shots from Real, but Cammy at range to the MCW a touch better. And with that now, Brooklyn has to try to restructure from the market side.
Okay, because you see the positioning out of Yuli. He's just blocking those close red spawns, forcing the overextension to come in from Omid. They find that initial cut onto PaulX, so they're already working this overextension. You have players putting the game clock at a pause, and that first segment is going to come in. And Graves are bound around that middle of the map, but the power position is still in favor of Lure. Here to contest.
Yeah, great timing on the route from Yuli, making the move through Junk. Real will fill the gap, make his presence now known over towards Junkyard side. It's Brooklyn are having a real tough time finding any real zone of control around this A point. They get Purge on for now. Second tick of progress being worked on. Real trying to find timing, but do I say find or force? He's almost trying to force timing, and it works out for the initial. Oh, gunfight with Awakening doesn't make a difference, and RCD clears the point. 2 ticks slow locked in.
And now you got them trapped again over towards the Coop side, but Real, he's not going to stop going forward. It's going to be aggression. Even with the AR in hand, he's able to find another double. 5, trying to make it 6. The snap is good enough from Real. Cruise missile earned.
A little bit of a spawn farm going on here over towards Coop side. SMG now in hand. He could use either weapon, it feels like, to great avail. Cammy stuck. The entire Brooklyn team completely stuck. It's a blender, and Lord Gaming are teeing off here in the opening round.
Only 17 seconds left. Someone is able to put themselves on that A objective, but you still have Real. They're contesting behind enemy lines. Finally, Purge is able to get the better of him, and that should allow Omid Brooklyn to extend this time. But a minute and 20 seconds to work with. Already a lot of presence here at Red.
And they neutralized the life lead quite considerably. Route from Prolud around the back. He may have a chance to actually sneak through. He's going to force the spawns deep, so every kill a critical one right now if you're War's defense, and they do deal with a lot of the pressure. Prolud, can he come around the backside though? He will not do so in concealment, as the cruise missile makes at least the last player in Arcitys aware of this. But look at the spawns. Lore are way out of this. Arcitys does win the first though, and well, now it's just down to how this hit starts to develop for a bit from the front.
Yeah, Real did invest that cruise missile there. With only 45 seconds left. It wasn't able to connect onto anyone, but you give the info to your team. But it might not play a big part here because Omid Brooklyn are just swarming their way in towards Cafe. That's 3 dead. Real trying to make it happen. He unfortunately is only able to take down 1. Now the stack is going to be here. First segment done.
2 players on. Could be 3, but Awakening wants to make sure he stops this jump wall play. Paul up top. Good shots towards Cammy. He can't quite finish the kill. You got Yuli on the other side trying to make a little bit of a pinch happen, but this is taking a lot of time. 2 ticks are in. 3rd is on the way. Prolud still holding his life. He's got help nearby in the form of Awakening. Paul trying to contest. Shut down. How about this from Brooklyn? They can still lock this in. 2 players on. Arcitys gets runs from the front, but Purge shuts them down on the cross rotation. 5v4 situation. Cammy gets the final shot, and even though Real tees off early, it's Brooklyn to take the round.
Yeah, and Omid Brooklyn just came out swinging, man. The fact that Real went on that hot streak behind enemy lines with 17 seconds left, they were able to extend the game clock. And as they were doing that, they already had a lot of presence around that red area. So Real was forced to invest that cruise missile. It gets absolutely nothing done. And Lord just way too tight on that retake. Doesn't allow them to work their way back. Try to secure that first defensive round. So even with Omid Brooklyn not looking the best, they still walk away victorious.
Unbelievable composure. I mean, you were getting spawn trapped by Real at Coop. Somehow you work your way out, and all of a sudden, as Karachi Control often provides, it's fireworks on the B point.
And it's just sometimes when you having those kind of moments, you're putting the fundamentals in the back of your mind now. You got to make sure you are controlling the game all the way down to the T. You are low, you got to block those close respawns next go around, but now it's time for them on the attack. First segment done here at A. A lot of presence around that mid-map area, and you're also reading the pitches coming in from Omid, but you're not expecting to. Big kill from Prolud.
Yeah, but at least the pinch has to come all the way back to the point, so you're not really in that much of a spawn trap. Real. That silence play allows him to get back in towards Red, seen by Cammy, and Real doesn't know where he's getting shot at from, at least not initially. Jumps back into the point. Yuli follows up. This may lead to a quick transition to B, especially with Real still shooting straight as he is. 1 player still alive behind the play. That's Purge, who's coming to make sure this B zone gets cleared.
Yuli's going to have his hands full because every single player from Omid Brooklyn have decided to chalk up that A point. They're trying to shut down the pressure at B. You locate onto Yuli, Arcitys 4 HP, and a dream. He is also going to fall. Now, PaulX, can you find a couple more kills? Because that time has been extended.
And this is all about just trying to hold this bottom side red right now. If you're Lord Gaming, keep these close spawns and keep the pressure up to force a bit Brooklyn to have to be very strong-handed on this defensive setup. Pressured out is Prelude. Next one up would be Candy. Purge trying to jump the ball to get here. Whoa, Yuli running some ammunition or swaps the pistol too soon. Either way, it doesn't work out. And with that a bit, Brooklyn holds strong and now can make their move up defensively.
Yeah, that's 3 dead, but you have to put yourself in position to block these close red spawns because Lore are more than happy to be trading in this scenario. To know that their spawns are a lot closer, yours a lot deeper, and you're also having to jump over a dumpster. So, Prolu, the rest of the guys on the side of Omen Brooklyn trying to contest over towards red. 1-for-1 trade still holding.
Now Prolu still locking things down over towards lights. Stun is out. Yuli able to at least find the trade, but this has been a convincing defense from Brooklyn. Real life advantage. They continue to just funnel players into this bottom side office. Awakening able to catch his breath over towards the backside at Boston. Brooklyn's defense continues to hold strong, and Lore just continuing to flood from the front every time.
Yeah, that's exactly what you can't do if you're Lore, because obviously the trades aren't going your way. So someone has to decide to hit a route. And it turns out it's going to be their main AR on the roster in Arson. He's already putting himself in position for the backside of Yellow Alley. He's just hoping that his teammates from the front end could get a couple kills, but everybody falls, and now Arson stuck between a rock and a hard place.
Lore just cannot clean out this front red position. And maybe it's just too much of this bullheaded, we're just going to keep hitting it, keep hitting it, keep hitting it. We know we're spawning close, but they're not winning the gunfights at all. Now all of a sudden, Brooklyn set themselves up for just another 30-second defense. 5-life advantage as well if that comes into play. As Lore Gaming finally clear out front red, now it's just out of getting out of the zone.
And it's Prelude again, starting off in the engagements. Can he find a double? No, he's only able to take down one, but that's where you have Cammy and Purge set up properly on those crossfires to keep them at bay. With only 10 seconds left, Lore's last push.
Yeah, and whoa, good save there from Two Real. Paul was dead to rights, but time is becoming an issue. You have to force the point now, and Prelude from in the interior, able to find a couple. Arcity's double, at least allows the point to be contested a little while longer, but that is as good as it gets in terms of an Brooklyn defense.
Yeah, this is full advantage now in favor of Omen Brooklyn. See Purge letting the boys know, right here is when we close it out. They are currently up by 3 segments, but on a map like Karachi, those tend to be thrown out the window.
Yeah.
So now we are 1 round away for Omen Brooklyn to force it all the way to a Game 7.
Anything up the sleeve here to try to do something crazy, make a little bit of a B break off. Put the pressure on early? No?
Nah, I think you just got to do the fundamental part correctly if you are Omen. Try to extend that time early on, have more opportunities to think about B.
Well, opening nades over towards that outside street, work out. Allows Prelude on for now. Cammy's gonna get the top third for free. All looking to be scouted out, but instead it's Yuli top red who gets pushed off the angle. First tick of progress is gonna be left, at least for now. Looking for kills are a bit Brooklyn, and they do find a couple, but it's not enough to really do too much in terms of dominating the rotation to be if they want it. So again, devices and eyes back over towards A.
Yeah, that's a big kill from Awakening. The Rat Pack and play for that player pushing out towards jump, because now you're forcing Lore to think that the pressure is going to be now over towards B. So you're splitting the defensive look. The second segment about to be complete. Still 1 minute and 6 seconds on the game clock. Now you're going to have 2 minutes to work with 3 segments at that B point.
Now Lore Gaming just setting up their line of scrimmage for this defense kind of right down through the middle of the map. Hotel control, junkyard control, and you have Two Real watching the potential flank through the spawn. That will work out for an opening kill. Lots of time on the clock, but all the kills turning out in favor of Lore Gaming. Purge not able to slip away. Awakening one kind of mid-kill over to at least keep a little bit of pressure open for Brooklyn, but the problem here is they need to get some red control.
They're rallying the troops to all attack the proper angle. You find the first kill onto Arcities. Now, if you are Lore, you got to play your corners. You cannot afford to drop at the same time. They find that second kill onto Yuli. It's time to go if you're Omen.
Do they have an idea of where Two Real's playing? He's trying to stay behind the play. They know that there's a player up top on AC, and now Two Real jumps into the action. First 2 kills are good. Purge, can he stay covered over towards the jump ball? No, instead he gets stunned out. RCD finds the kill, and now Lore Gaming put together a solid defensive setup.
And they're already pushing out towards red, making this a lot more difficult now for Omen Brooklyn. Think about wrapping their way back in. A minute still to fight for. Lore currently up by 1 life and all the map control to go with it. Omen just trying to find an opening.
Tough fight here for Paul. Lots of Omen Brooklyn members right in front of him. And he will be overwhelmed. Purge turns that into a second. RCD's watching across through mid. Able to take down one, but there's still a route here for Mid Brooklyn to stop the clock and get some work done on this first tick.
And this is going to fall into the hands of Two-Real. What can he get done on this pinch? You see that on your mini-map. ProLuke sort of has an idea that he's ready for this gunfight to come on in, but he has that AR in hand, runs out of ammo. Two-Real, it's your turn to strike. Can you find this kill? Yes, he does, but effective trades from Mid Brooklyn, still giving themselves opportunities.
Last one left, though, is Awakening. He's just trying to keep his life. Front side bus. Scouted out, dealt with. More gaming. 30 seconds to kill off the clock. Next hit for a bit, largely coming to the middle of the map. Yuli trying to set himself up for some sort of a pinch, or at least a contest over through red. Paul doing the same towards bottom office. Hit on the way here for Mid Brooklyn. Last maybe good chance of trying to get down to the zone, and those 2 kills already tallied. Arseny's not finding the success he needs off the cross, but Two-Real inside the point, able to find one, and things can stay mixy.
Oh, Two-Real's dancing. He's dancing, able to maneuver his way around that cafe for that second kill. Him and Arseny single-handedly shut down the pressure at this B point. And also, 4 segment does not come in. So, Mid Brooklyn going to find themselves losing the attacking round, but you're currently up by 6 segments. And you would take that if you're Lord, because Karachi, you could prefer the offensive side.
100%. I mean, that's just great back-to-back defenses, though. So, you know, we come into that conversation maybe a little bit less confidence as we normally would. So a chance here for Lord to get us into round number 5. Still need to find success on this offense, though. Determining on what side of the map that they want, of course. For Mid Brooklyn, can you set up that same defensive stronghold? That's what I'm really wondering about, because they were really putting the pressure on early.
Yeah, and if you're Lord, you can't commit to consistently try to play for those trades all the time at red, because so much time it took away from you on your opportunities. We're going to come up with a little bit of a different look this time. A double stack in towards the A point. You have Yuli watching the overextension. Make sure no one puts himself in a position over towards Jung. That first segment is getting complete.
Good timing from Arseny's. He takes care of Purge, who is meant to deny the contestants on the zone itself. Two-Real. Forces the gunfight. Just a little bit of timing. Able to finesse on the Cammy. Now Yuli can make the move through mid, up top to AC.
This is where you got to go. You got to transition with these kills and start taking a little bit more ground over towards his B point. Two-Real on 5 in a row. If he can earn a cruise missile, it could play a big part, but he is going to fall to the hands of Cammy. Now Yuli from the top side of AC is able to find that kill, but I'm thinking you got to take more space at B. These mid-map kills are fine and all, but you were able to extend the time. You just need to put yourself in a better position to think about that objective.
Purge is in position again defensively. He's over towards the top side at red, finds the first. Has an idea that Two-Real's nearby and deals with him as well with the pistol. Clean shots from Purge. And here we go again. Mid Brooklyn dominating front side red.
You can already see the difference in the game plan from Lore. You're swanning over towards Coop. You're forcing yourself to work this overextension. But Purge is continuously hitting that go button. Almost a snap good enough to take down Paul. But eventually he is going to drop. And all of Mid Brooklyn dominating the kill department around that mid-map area.
I mean, here comes the rewrap back from Arseny's. Cammy slipping in the bottom red. Two-Real finds the kill, and now it's just down to clearing out ProLuke. Here we go. Now we have an opportunity for Lord Jamie to get on the racehorse and make their way over towards B. The only one really watching the cross for now is Purge, but with a little bit of extra help, making their way over the jump wall, he can get to work again, being a nuisance in the back.
Yeah, this is what Purge is ready to do. Pops that dead silence, should be able to come up behind a couple players, but thankfully his teammates have already taken care of business. It's almost a minute wiped off the game clock. Lord currently down by 2 lives, still trying to work this overextension. It's all the SMGs just dominating around this red area, being so damn annoying to play against.
The only thing really benefiting Lore is that they do get one player to spawn close, but Purge is actually right behind the spawner. Trade is decent, but again, extra time now off the clock. Mid Brooklyn locking things down through mid. Lord David trying to get a setup, and now Awakening's in your back line. Only gets one. Just down to, can you find anything else if you're Lord from the front? No, ProLuke able to get his forward.
And now you get these close red spawns, so you don't really have enough time now to work this overextension. Unfortunately, PaulX gets that team kill onto Luli, but you find that kill onto ProLuke. Can you find a couple more? Potentially open up this play, because with only 30 seconds left, 1 or 2 more good pushes at this.
Purge blocking again. Hit over towards the backside, desperate in nature. Doesn't work out in Purge. Little turnover towards Arseny's with the pistol. And again, Lord Gaming just spawning so far away. Mid Brooklyn can feel a game 7, which is one more good stop. ProLuke has to back off in a little bit of trouble, but at least gets a trophy system down. 10 seconds. Have to find success from the front right here, right now if you're Lord Gaming, but everything's being watched. Paul dealt with at least to hold back. Two-Real also meets the same fate, and we've got 7 maps of Challengers Grand Finals coming to the main stage.
Just fantastic plays right there at Mid Brooklyn on the defensive side. Prelude and Purge having a field day roaming around red, popping their dead silence, jumping off the balcony, flanking for a couple of kills, just making the game super difficult for Lore, thinking that, all right, we got a kill, but instantly as soon as you find that kill, they find two of their own. Just more effective in the trades was Omen Brooklyn. And I thought it was going to be a very slow start for them in this map, but that is instantly forgetting about the Search and Destroy.
Yeah.
Beautiful bounce back now to force Game 7.
It's almost the exact same thing on High Rise, where we're not forcing plays to happen if you're at Brooklyn. We're getting opportunities and we're taking them when they provide at least a chance for Purge to make some plays happen. But largely speaking, we're not trying to bite off more than we can chew. Especially from the defensive side, it's just let's make sure we have a good base of operations. That front red control was everything. And honestly, for the side of Lore, they just kept steamrolling themselves into the blender.
Yeah, that just wasn't the recipe for success there, because obviously if the gunfights go your way, that is exactly what you want to do. But when they're not going your way, someone has to put themselves in a position to hit a kind of route. And the only player that did so was Arsony.
Yeah.
He's an AR player. You want to try to send one of your SMG players to work that overextension, maneuver their way, try to finesse jumping over that backside of the dumpster, but they just never gave themselves any of those opportunities. So Omen Brooklyn clutch up. Now we're going the distance, man.
A Rio Search and Destroy. Lore Gaming have looked great in the search thus far, but, and maybe it is a little bit of a caveat, last time that these two teams played, this was the map 2, and it went to 10. Lore Gaming was able to win 6-4. Who knows? Feels like we may have 11 rounds worth of search coming our way based on how these two teams have played, but we'll find out when we come back after the break. Don't go anywhere.
Call of Duty League Championship Weekend is presented by Corduroy, the only beanbag in the world with a bed inside.
Call of Duty League Championship Weekend is brought to you by Wingstop, the official wings of Optic Texas.
Gaming.com/optic-prism. And you could -prism. And you could be one of the lucky few to unbox the gold controller.
one more map to crown our first champion of the Modern Warfare 3 season here with the Challengers Grand Finals in Allen, Texas. And we have had ourselves an absolute thrilling best of 7 series at this point. Lots of back and forth thus far. Maybe the only takeaways, hey, for Lord Gaming, they have been great in the search and destroy, but this Mid Brooklyn team gave them a battle last time they played this map. Yeah,
it went all the way down to the wire, 6-4 in favor of Lore, but so far between these matchups, it's now 3-0 in search and destroy versus this old Mid Brooklyn squad for Lore Gaming. So now you gotta keep that in the mindset, like we are better than this squad at this game mode. Going all the way into a game 7 where we probably weren't expected to be here, but we've already beaten them once. We have to do it again.
And the interesting thing about that storyline, we took a moment to go back, re-look at the scoreboard from when they played last time. Big difference in how Purge was playing up against 2 Real. That seemed like the difference maker.
Oh yeah, what was it? 5 first bloods for 2 Real, 5 first deaths for Purge, 14-7 performance out of 2 Real. Not really the best for Purge, and you know, on a map like Rio, those SMGs, I say it all the time, they need to be felt.
And I think the thing about it is we've seen from this Lord Gaming team in the past, especially from Season 3 of the Elite, they love their smoke retakes top side of the middle of the map. So will that continue to be the case? Or maybe was there something learned about what that crossing angle that Joe Deceived showed us yesterday? That could change how things are set up completely.
So far, all in Brooklyn, they have learned at least off their mistakes off the respawns.
Facts.
2 maps that they played, the Rio Hardpoint, they get redemption there. The High Rise Control, they get redemption there. So since you already have a rep underneath your belt on this Rio Search and Destroy versus this squad, you should be a lot more prepared than the first go around. You see Ricky Atura letting the boys know. Game 7, RCD's has been in multiple situations like this. I keep on saying it. 2-time world champion. He's just going to let these guys know, calm down.
I think on the other side, though, you know, just to take some value away from what we're seeing in these player camps, Purge is really leading a lot of these conversations in terms of, hey, this is what maybe I want to do for these opening engagements. Can you follow up in this way or that way? Maybe just reaffirming the things they talked about overnight as the fist bumps are out, which means we are loading on in to a map 7, best of 7, Challengers Grand Finals. And this feels again like a CDL matchup between these 2 squads. Just comes down to whose prep is better and maybe who wants it more. A repeat map. But this one is to decide who gets the crown of being your Challengers champions in the Modern Warfare 3 season.
If you're all in Brooklyn, you could not allow Lord Gaming to set the tone early on like they've been able to do previously in the last 2 Search and Destroys throughout this series. It's playing a little bit too slave. You gotta be loose. They are gonna be a team early on the attacking side. No trophy systems to work with. They're gonna be doing a 2-2 split setup.
Oh, this is wild, and that's why. I mean, that's day 1. RCD's just locks down the lane, has a freebie, not in a position to find any sort of shots on the flip was awakening, and now you're in an early 3v4. You don't really have an opportunity to even get this bomb even close to planting, you think?
Yeah, that's just a risk that's not worth taking, but thankfully 2 Real blesses you with one of your own. Makes it a 3v3. Bomb carrier and Prolude just going back and forth. The Call of Duty time are going to come back to bite them, but no, all of Lore is rallying the troops. They're going to attack.
Oh, but look at this. There's a lot of slide noise being heard by Mid Brooklyn. They're trying to isolate to see if Yuli's still outside by the bridges. He's not. So now 40 seconds on the clock. Mid Brooklyn may have to commit to the full wrap here. Cammy in trouble through U-Haul, and good shots, but not enough. Awakening off the pinch pistol out for the first, looking for a second. RC is safe in the corner, and the follow-up is enough as the double hit comes through and Lord Gaming take the opening round.
Just a mid-round adjustments too fast from Lord Gaming, just like that invasion search and destroy. They read where the pressure's coming in. They said, screw all the one-on-one gunfights, we're all going together. They found the initial 2 kills, put it into a 2v1, and even with a team kill coming in, Awakening not able to secure that gunfight versus RCD's. Lord Gaming, take the first.
That was just a weird opening breakoff. Like, it didn't look like there were nades thrown over to RCD's directions. It was just, I'm going to run up and see if I can just beat timing.
Yeah, because sometimes you want to not allow the team to know where you're attacking. So if you invest those stuns in the nades, they're going to realize that the pressure's going to go over towards that bridge area.
Oh.
It doesn't work.
Yeah, stun, locks one in place, 2 Real nearly able to get the first blood. Follow-up nades also finding damage, but no commitment off of those connections, at least as of yet. Purge finds the first. Yuli looking for the trade, but it eludes him. Now he's in a little bit of trouble, just trying to keep his life over towards bridge. The reset's in. Paul trying to watch the cross, and uh-oh.
Alrighty. Well,
Calm down, Dallas. It's fine. We'll figure it out.
It's okay, guys. It was 1-0. No cruise missiles earned. Obviously, that's got to be demoralizing.
Dude, that was about to get crazy.
It was. It was right there. They said, nah, it's going to be way too mixy. Let's just restart this one.
Dude. Wow. Okay. Take a breath. Moments of reset here. I don't think that really changes too much. I mean, again, we're going to come back into this with a 1-0 count.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a 1-for-1 opening exchange there in round number 2. Only real difference is trophy systems is really where we're at. So
now that changes the way that Lore probably going to be on this attacking round.
That's fair. Yep.
See, with those trophy systems, you can get aggressive through top mid, try to instantly work that objective. And they had a lot of top mid control in that previous round, but up 1-0. Don't let this one get to you. It's okay. We'll spawn back right back in.
And I think it's maybe a little bit interesting, you know, over the course of watching this Rio search and destroy with the CDL playoffs that are happening, we've seen a lot more focus kind of going over towards the outside portions of the map, P2, P4 areas. That hasn't really been a staple of what we've seen in Challengers. Again, the thing about it, and really the difference between the teams you're seeing on stage now versus those you're about to see is that these rosters are more recently formed. They don't have the extended amount of time to deep dive into their playbooks, so it often feels kind of like the first and second layer of the cake, so to speak. Do we see someone try to pull something crazy, learning something from what the CDL have done in the last 48 hours?
Well, I would hope that we get to see that because all this non-stop pressure through top mid, retaking through smoke grenades is not really a consistent way of finding success. So just slowing down the game, spreading map a little bit. Players like RC's realizes those kind of opportunities where he can be the island player, shuts down the lane. He finds that first blood, watching over on the left side by himself.
Yeah.
So he understands, like, what the openings are. It's just you got to figure it out because it's still early into this map.
Yeah, and just again, what we've seen to this point for the side of Lore Gaming is the mid-round adaptations have been perfect essentially through the first 2 search and destroys.
Yeah.
We're talking about blowout map 2, blowout map 5. That's the other part about it. So that battlefield general role has really looked pretty solid. And it's not even just the one person calling. I mean, we've gotten good information seeking out of Lore in both the first 2 maps. This one just feels different because you don't often get that information until it's in your face on Rio.
Yeah, because that's a map like Rio. That information instantly comes on in, so you got to use that to the best of your ability. So just waiting for the reset to come in. I know the crowd, the Greenwall fans starting to rally on in. They cannot wait for this series to be done so they can watch their boys potentially hold the trophy at the very end. Oh, they're getting turned up.
We're getting hydrated.
Wow.
We're getting hydrated.
Feeling fantastic.
Yes, sir. Oh, the crowd's asking for it. You got to give it to them. A second one. Pull the second one.
Come on, that's a brand new one. Come on.
Attaboy. Stay hydrated, friends.
That's good apple juice right there.
That's great.
Great apple juice.
Unreal stuff. We love it here in Texas. Everything's bigger, including the stakes right now, apparently.
And you see the faces of both Paul X and Awakening. They are just waiting for this game to start. And we are getting word now that the game is getting ready to load on back in. Yep. Lore Gaming are going to be up 1-0. So here we go.
Yep.
Back into the game 7.
Fly-throughs on the way on our side, so here we go. Jumping right back in like you mentioned. 1-0 count for Lore Gaming. Is there anything different here off of this opening setup just based on the fact that some things had been seen? Again, no trophy systems as well, so expect to see some of that main utility being used for information gathering early here.
Yeah, and I think if you're Purge, like he was able to find that first blood on that round before it disconnected due to the fact that he was super aggressive through top mid. Yeah, the trophy system to keep you alive. But now that you don't have that, they decided to just retake with their stuns and grenades, potentially a smoke grenade.
Could be the call. Let's find out. Jumping on into the action. Again, this is round 2. We'll keep you, of course, verbally updated on the current score, which is Lore up 1-0 off of their opening defense. A little bit of focus here over towards the A side early, just trying to see if there's anyone trying to play a bit more aggressively on the defensive side. Cammy is at least in the area, but looking a bit Brooklyn, they say no one's up towards mid. We'll take that. Thank you very much. The double hit comes out, and first blood's good onto the bomb carrier.
That's beautiful teamwork right there out of the SMG duo for that first blood, and now it's going to keep everyone for Lore being aware of this one, but why is that necessary out of Purge? Instantly makes it a 3v3, and at least Paul X finds one before dropping.
And the bomb is collected, and they can re-rep this back out. They know the last 2 players are over towards A, so Yuli surely just hops this. Yep, indeed the case. Yeah, Purge is in a great spot just to make sure no one rotates back into B, but now you've got a 2v2 post plant, and Lore Gaming kind of hold the edge here.
40 seconds to go. Cammy and Proloop using the buddy system to clear out over towards bridge, but Arcides, if he catches the timing, should be able to gain the info. But he's not gonna peek, and it might work out.
Oh, now he sees the gun of Proloop. First one's good. Cammy quick on the trade, though. 22 seconds on the clock. Yuli still holding his ground. Completely unknown in terms of Cammy's pursuit, and this is just taking way too much time. Cammy has to make a play to get to the bomb. Yuli throws the first shoulder. He'll wait for 7.5, and he will confirm the round. 2-0 up. Will go Lore Gaming.
Just beautifully played right there out of Lore. But you got to be happy as hell when you're gifted freebies. Like the fact that Purge puts himself in that position to find that first blood and just, I guess, gets impatient to try to sneak his way out through that B street. Gives the kill to Arcides. You make it a 3v3, and somehow, some way in a 3v1, PaulX finds one before dropping. You gained all the info, you put the bomb down, you play the clock to perfection if you're Yuli. 2-0 Lore.
Those are absolutely the two calls. It's just, again, Purge is in a perfect spot.
It's just not necessary.
Top Seed is just trying to force those timings. So now Lore Gaming back over to their defense. Last time we were here, Purge tried to hit an aggressive route through the backside at bridge. Not going to happen this time as Focus once again kind of comes over towards it. There's a double stack of defense here, though. Paul's the one taking pot shots here and there, but Yuli's the one kind of concealed and covered over towards garage.
It's looking like they're going to commit on this A push.
Sure
as well.
does.
Going to back them down with the stuns and the nades, force the repositioning out of PaulX, but do you know that Yuli's sitting in towards the garage? I guess not. He strikes for the first.
That's your bomb down again. Nades are still out. Two-Real can hit off the pinch from boxes. And Amit Brooklyn are in the blender. Follow-up from Yuli is good. And it's a absolute lightning fast 3-0 round.
How the hell did these guys go 8-1 in this weekend?
I don't know, dude.
Destroy? Because these play calls are just abysmal. Like, we are isolating the player. We're just playing into plays that we have no information on. And when you're getting picked off, like you said, with the bomb, you're just giving yourself no opportunities. 3-0 Lore.
Well, the thing, too, about this is all of the offensive utility is thrown onto the corner behind the forklift. There's nothing left for boxes, nothing left for the side of garage. We're just hoping we get good timing, so that's just not going to work with how Lore are playing their defense.
So now if you're home in Brooklyn, you got to try to figure out something. The aggression has played a big part, at least early on, for that first blood, but gotta realize how to hit that pause button. It's just getting a fill out if you are Lore. You're gaining info onto Purge, just backing him down. Eventually, you will take top mid.
Yeah, Two-Real stun. Does confirm no one else is still lingering over towards U-Haul, at least for a time, but he gets naded back, so everything kind of resets. Semtex denied by the trophy. Purge on the cross, MCW in hand. In a little bit of trouble. Both players give up the site here for a moment, just trying to play a bit of a reset as now all of a sudden Lore can make their move on.
Now, curious to see if Omen Brooklyn have any attacks to try to retake this site, because that bomb is going to be planted. You gain the info. You are PaulX over towards this water street, but 40 seconds to go.
Couple of tags from Purge, but not enough to get anything done in terms of damage overall. Yuli playing the close contact up close on to U-Haul, but no. Help is on the way. Two-Real for the first. Looking for more. Almost able to shut down Proloop, but not going to happen. Just down to Arcides for the 1v3 situation. Tons of time here. He's going to make this play happen and make it happen quickly. Proloop on the hop. Does he get the timing? Finds the kill, steps away. Not fully, though. Awakening's pistol too good and enough time to get the defuse.
And there you go. Some teamwork right there to Omen Brooklyn on that retake. Send every single player through top mid. You find the trade onto Two-Real. Then you realize that there's no more pressure here from Lore. They have to be watching it from certain angles. You sniff out the first, and then Arcides left in the 1v3. Even after finding that kill, you're just in a position to instantly play that trade. So Omen Brooklyn finally put one on the board, down 3-1.
And just a good moment of just, again, building back up some defensive pressure, not just allowing things to happen freely. The question for me is, what do we get going on offense? Because the first two looks we've had have not been particularly great.
I'm not going to lie, I'm instantly sending in Purge to go plant that damn bomb.
I think that's fair.
There's no maneuver around the map. You just stuns your nades, back them down from top mid, and instantly put that bomb down.
Well, tons of nade focus over to where normally Arcides would be playing. He's not here this time. Instead, it's Two-Real who's holding the close corner on the windows. This opens up a bridge play to start happening. Proloop stun does land, but I don't think he understands where that connects. That's on Arcides' backside Eskies, not close stairs.
Yeah, but you're clearing all this space now. Are you decide to go for that objective? No, because when you make that decision, it's now Lore's opportunity to make those quick mid-round adjustments. They take mid right on back. Home in Brooklyn forced to rotate.
Just plain retake utility. The Semtexes are absolutely zoned correctly, and now all of B has gone back in favor of the defense. Paul playing shoulder contact over towards the A site, which is where the transition has to happen. Paul almost overstays his welcome, but at least confirms that the defense needs to rotate over to deal with this.
He realizes where the pressure's coming in. And look at this route being hit from 2 real, but Purge is able to hold down that angle for that first blood. Awakening strikes forward the second. Last 2 players from Lore stacked over towards this box's area. Yeah, you have no chance here.
Absolutely none. Cammy just over the top of the car. No worries there. Clean shots, clean angle. Yuli, last one left for the 1v4. He's got Purge in his sights, but doesn't quite lock down.
Papi, se lo sacaron del buche.
There for Brooklyn to get back-to-back round.
Beautiful mid-round adjustment right there at the moment. I thought that they were going to commit on that top mid B push, but once they realized that all those tons of nades are coming in, they hit that rotation, you back down the player, because I thought Arcades, he was sort of on a route. He was playing around Eski's area. I thought he was going to back down to try to assist Paul X, realizing that that's where the play was going to come in. But once they cross right in front of Paul X around that box's area, they have full sight control. Just a matter of time.
I think the important part about that was it wasn't the full team to cross around Paul's angle, so there were still members watching that flank. So good discipline coming through, even though the clock was starting to put a little bit of pressure on. Back over to Lore on the offense. Opening stuns and nades, largely denied by the defensive trophy system of ProLoot, but doesn't stop Tubriel from hopping on and immediately thinking about trying to go for the plant, but a couple of defensive nades push him off for a moment.
Just waiting for the right time to strike. Nade is going to connect, so you're just going to back down. 53 HP to play your life.
Había tiro ese.
Control through top mid. All you have to do is watch right in front of you. If you are Paul X, do not give up that overextension.
Great first blood from Yuli. Has a chance to chase down more. Tubriel's pushing this with
Nice.
the isolation towards the backside of B is brilliant. So now it's on to Cammy. Maybe has a chance to watch over B, but it's going to be a full wrap back over, and there's just not going to be a lot of space for him to work with here.
Yeah, 1v4. This is not going to be easy.
Nice.
Get a chance to make that round happen. Lower Gaming just take top mid away, but just great plays to get aggressive to their side of the map. Yuli and Tubriel finding 3 in the feed. Leaving Cammy in the 1v4, that's just perfectly played right there to Lord. Those mid-round adjustments, again, they're way too damn fast.
And I think the other part about that is they get the read that Brooklyn are throwing all their defensive retake nades, and as soon as those are gone, let's just get forward. They can't stun us in place anymore. It's a bold call, but it works out nicely. So 4-2 now the count for Lord Gaming, getting closer and closer to securing what would be their second Open Championship, and of course, the big kahuna being the Challengers Champion at the end of the year. Mid Brooklyn looking to maybe do something a little bit more standard here. A little 4-man push over towards the top side at B. ProLoot thinking about the early plan.
Yeah, bomb instantly going down. You're not going to give Lower Gaming the opportunity to even think about this retake quickly. First blood goes in favor of Purge. We started to turn around off the replay. Sitting at 5-3 overall, you just got to be ready for this push.
First connection.
Ya estaban los tres ahí. Nice.
Finds one trade.
Nice.
Dealt with over towards Eskies, and no chance for the last member to make any move happen. So round for round, we start to go, keeping it tight.
You just don't allow Lower Gaming to make that mid-round adjustment that they have been able to do every single time. It usually comes in quick, but when you plant that bomb, that's a lot faster than they were expecting. So you find the first blood, you dominate it over towards the bridge area, and then you trade effectively through top mid. Home at Brooklyn, staying alive.
Yeah,
4-3 now.
And the thing about it is defensively, they're starting to work on some stuff too. So it's not just the offense making adjustments. Can they keep following up with these defensive adaptations that they would need? Let's find out. Lore Gaming spreading the map, looking for contact first. Also waiting to see where Mid Brooklyn throw the majority of their utility. Nades are thrown deep though by the defense. They're looking to contest this B site, and they will get control top mid.
And I love how aggressive Mid Brooklyn are being to take away top mid from Lore. So get a couple hit markers with those stuns and nades, and I don't know if RC's timing was world's worst there. He's not going to be able to spot him, and unfortunately Purge stopped shooting. First blood, favor of RC.
And the hit's still on. Awakening has to commit to staying on top of this vending area. Cammy also rotating back over. Ooh, he's going to put himself in a very tricky spot. Just needs to go 1-for-1 here. That would be more than fine. Sees Tubriel on the cross, gets the first. Lots of damage into the second. No follow-up, though. And the bomb will be collected with a chance to plant it in.
Yeah, bomb should go down, but if you are RCs, you don't want to fully commit on this gunfight. Yup, pack it where you like. Keep the man advantage in your favor.
Is there timing here for ProLoot at all to catch anybody from the box's area? Not quite. RC's trying to get back over in the mantle to join Yuli to try to guard the flank. That doesn't work, so now a 2v2. And both of the last post-plan offensive members are going to try to isolate, see if they can catch timing here. Awakening, good look at Yuli, but the shots don't land. And now all of a sudden, Yuli gets aggressive, finds the kill. Down to Proloot. First shot's decent, but not enough to find the kill. And Lord Gaming are on championship point.
I thought Awakening put himself on the super ultra mega route, and it was going to work out to perfection. But some premature shots onto Yuli. Fortunately leads to him dropping. And that is now gonna put Lore at game point for the chip.
What do you call here if you're at Brooklyn, man? Have to win 2 in a row. You've gotten a lot of success, I think, with just the standard, get your focus in one spot, get the plant. You try to set that up again.
Yeah, I think you gotta go with the aggression. Do not allow Lore Gaming to make those quick mid-round adjustments. As Awakening this time around is gonna be the bomb carry. The SMGs are just going.
This is an unreal play call. Just get forward if you're the subs. It works out for first blood, and they're not stopping here, at least initially. Lots of defensive retake nades on the way. They do land. Purge gets taken down, so now we get a 3v3.
3v3 now. Everything's gonna come to a slow down moment. Now Omen Brooklyn do not want to make any mistakes. You have Awakening still with that bomb in hand, taking a lot of ground over towards that street side. That objective, you have to start thinking about it, because the opposing way, the flank is developing.
Trades are decent, but this is going to spread the defenders out. One on one side, one on the other. Arcides reconsidering his position. Going to try to join up with Paul. I mean, this is all about, do they catch good timing on these crosses? Cammy playing at boxes. Awakening commits. Should be a post plan.
He's playing on the front side of bomb too, so
yeah,
it's going to be a lot more difficult now for Lore, but Arcides should have at least spotted Awakening on the exit. 2v2, Omen Brooklyn trying to clutch up and stay alive.
Clean shots from Arcides. Now it's just down to Cammy. Has to be a 1v2. Arcides going to play this alongside Paul. They're making sure there's no late wrap. Now it's just down to, can they isolate? Here's the first cross. Clean shots. Oh, Cammy will drop. How about it? Lord Gaming find themselves in every single grand finals. But it's this version of the roster that are champions at the end of the season.
And that is the perfect definition of S&D wins you championships. You come out in this best of 7 versus a squad who were outstanding all weekend long in S&D until today. 8-1 overall, now make it 8-4. Lore Gaming, way too strong in their mid-round adjustments. Game plan worked out to perfection. And when they needed to slow the game down and pick them apart, that's why you got a 2-time world champion to guide you through it.
Unbelievable stuff. What a season it's been for the Lore Gaming brand. Like we said, they made it to every single open grand final stage. Able to pull off the major reverse sweep in FaZe Black at Major 2. Come up short in the first and the third, but here, a new opponent on the other side of the bright lights, and they clean up in 7.
That is insane, man. All season long through all challenges, he was either FaZe Black or Lore Gaming that walked away victorious on land. And even though we go all the way down to the wire, stories for these young men, the way that they were able to battle from start to finish of this series, it's now to give you more confidence for them going into ESWC and even better into the next season.
What an unreal season it's been. Lore Gaming, your challengers champions in the Modern Warfare 3 season, and a chance to possibly do more later in the year. But Blaze on the stage for our championship reactions with Lore Gaming.
Thank you so much, Texas. Make some noise for your COD Challengers champions, Lore Gaming. Man, what a time to be alive here. Paul, how does it feel to be able to come away with this victory on this stage in front of all these fans?
It's the best feeling I've felt in a hot minute. Obviously, I haven't been in the league this year, so it's been kind of hard. But I'm just glad I'm able to be back on the stage and show that I feel like last year wasn't a real representation of myself. And I feel like I'm back, and I feel like people need to know that. And hopefully they do now. And
I think they definitely do now, okay? And it's not over for you guys just yet, okay? You guys still get a chance to go to EWC and play with the best. I know you're excited for that one and show them what you can do.
Yeah, obviously even going to Saudi sounds unreal. Like I didn't think I'd ever do that in my life, so I'm just glad we were able to qualify with this team because I love each and every one of these guys.
Awesome. Pass the mic on over to you, Lee.
What's going on, man?
My man, how does it feel to get a championship on this stage?
It feels so fucking good. I got family watching back home. It's exciting, man. They've supported me so much, and I'm glad we could do this.
Awesome, awesome. Pass the mic on over to Coach Rick, but before I do that, I just want to talk to Alec real quick, man. How does it feel to be back on top, but not even just that, be able to still go take down some of these top teams this year in this game?
Don't call them top teams, bro. Bro, Challengers is ass. Those guys are ass, bro. I want to get back in the league and run shit again, bro.
That's what I'm talking about. You about to go play those guys at EWC.
I want this shit again, bro.
Definitely going to get it. Now, what do you want to...
2.5 world champion.
2.5.
I got half a championship.
You got a half a championship right there, okay? And you got a chance to make it 3.5 as well, okay?
No.
Anything you want to say to the fans?
I mean, bro, nah. I'm sorry for the last couple of years, but this is different now. I'm back, yeah.
Pass the mic on over to Real. Talk to me about what this means for you.
Means for me, I mean, I'm just excited to be back on the main stage for the Esports World Cup, and that's all.
There you go, okay? Awesome, awesome. And lastly, Coach, talk to me about how proud you are of this squad and how far they've come and where you guys are about to go.
Honestly, coming to this event, I feel like we, had a lot of ups and downs, and honestly, we just came and played our game, and we showed it out, and honestly showed who we really are. I'm so proud of these guys, man.
Definitely did, okay? Give them one more congratulations, everybody. It's time for the medal ceremony. Let's crown them. Let's put the medals on top of them.
Congratulations, boys. I'm talking about.
Texas, one more time. Make some noise for Lord Gaming.
Ricky,
thank you so much, bro. I appreciate it.
Brother.
Wow.
Congratulations, guys. Congratulations. Alex.
All right, we have now crowned our COD Challengers champions. But folks, it's not over yet. When we come back, the final act, the grand finals, comes up next.